I got married to a Funko Pop. Whoa. We got wedded, conjoined in a Subway shop. Whoa. I'm married to my Funko Pop. Whoa. We got joined, coitus in a Subway shop. Whoa. Vitamins and biscuits and minerals, they come to me through a tube. My whole life is spent watching on a tube. Whoa-oh. Whoa-oh-oh-oh. Whoa. I'm married to a Funko Pop. Whoa. We got wedded, we got joined in a Subway shop. Whoa. Vitamins and minerals, they come to me through a tube. Vitamins and minerals, they come from me through this here tube. Whoa. I got married to my Funko Pop. Whoa. We got wedded, we got joined in a Subway shop. Whoa. Love at first sight, love at first sight. What shall I do with love at first sight? Put it in my hand, throw it on the ground. Who knows? Just what will I do?
The human guinea pig stuff in Africa. So insane.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We had too much debating going on. Too much master of debating going on, so we had to flip the script. We had to do a little bit of something different. We got a DeVoe style. Warm up our vocal cords. Somebody said, you look like a damn James Bond villain. That's an accurate description of my new persona. Welcome everybody. Hopefully the stream is working. I don't even know anymore. Who knows anymore? Let's the other stream. Let's try that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. Don't worry. Matt Dilla Monkey.
The monkey, you climbed up in that tree. What you doing up there? Why you scared? Why you running from every debate? You ran from Andrew and from me. Not till the monkey, you like they female monkeys with their bananas between their trees, hanging down upside down. what you doing to me? Killer, killer, mother monkey.
All right, welcome everybody. As we warm our vocal cords up, this is what you musicians do called vocal practice. It's called priming the pumps in technical music theory terms. Listen, I have to warn you, I'm in a wacky mood. I can't debate a bunch of goobers for weeks on end and not go nuts afterwards, right? Welcome everybody. Listen, I'm in a good, listen, we're gonna try. I feel like singing. What's on my mind right now? Will I turn to the dark side? I'm a villain.
Chad mode,
A veritable Bond villain.
Designed to take.
I turned to the dark side, a villain, a Bond villain. I'm thinking about Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Seeing you on that screen. Tom Cruise, what you do to me? Risky business. This is a risky business talking about you, Tom Coon. But the RIZZ is the key to the business, Tom Coon. This industry. Trying to make it in entertainment, you know what I'm saying? That's why I got nothing in my heart but love for you, Tom Coon. I seen you in the Mission Kim Possibles. And I was like, damn, I want to be like Tom Coon. Tom Coon. Tom Coon. Tom Coon. Tom Coon. I seen you on the TV scream. What you doing to me? You are mommy. Tom Coon. What you doing to me? Tom Coon is all I see. Mission Kim Possible. Tom Coon making me croon. Tom Croon. What's what I call this ode to you? Scientology. Tom Croon. L. Ron Hubbard, baby, yeah. You was thick. Triple C. Xenu, baby. Shout out to my alien boys and girls. Alien twerk for me. Tom Coon, make an alien twerk for me. Tom Coon's got them alien digits. Tom Coon's got Xenu friends. Let me see a new batch of friends. Tom Coon, you were in a lot of movies. A lot of movies that moved me. Like the bright stuff through the football. Sports hold Tom Coon. And you shook up a bunch of drinks for Elizabeth Shue. Tom Coon. What you do to me? Tom Coon. How's that for a improv? Hopefully it recorded. Did it work? Tom Coon. Going clear. Tom Coon, there's nothing for us to fear. Tom Coon. What you doing to me? What you doing to me? How come nobody wants to come to the fun streams? Is debating the only thing people care about? Debating is so low vibration. Bro, debating Debating is like row vibrations. It's like down at the asshole chakra. That's the vibrational frequency of debating. Is the booty hole chakra. That was like Brand mixed with David Icke. It was like a mix. I don't know where that came from. That was fun though. Y'all like that Tom Cruise song? Do you like the Tom Cruise? What's the verdict of the chat? Tom Coon running scared. Tom Coon, I challenge you to a debate. Let's debate Scientology right now, Tom Coon. You a screamer addict, Tom Kuma. I should have pulled up his IMDb and just sang a bunch of Tom Coombs songs, you know what I'm saying? Debates is the only thing anybody wants, just because what the heck, dude. But there's so much craziness, so much fun to be had out there in the world, you know what I mean? Somebody said it was fire. Seriously though, do you guys like the Tom Coombs song? I mean, it just popped up out of nowhere. I was like, what am I going to sing about improv? Tom Coombs, why not? And then I helped the audience go clear. Yeah, so people were like, I thought you converted to Heaven's Gate. I did, but I realized they were heretics and they didn't have the true faith. So last night I converted to Scientology. I don't know. Wine guy. You're a wine guy. That was an old debate. I posted that though. Y'all liked it? It was pure fire. Hopefully the sound came through good because I felt like I was doing all right on that one. Y'all like my Bond villain? I'm gonna transition not just into being a Bond villain, not just into being a Theta Clear Scientology elder. I'm a bishop of the Scientology Church, full clear. I feel like a lounge. I'm gonna transition to lounge singing too. Look, we're gonna integrate all of the art forms into my act. I'm tired of debating though. So I had the most fun at my live event performing Funko Pop Live. So look, let me get a nice fat collection of songs, of improv songs. And we just go on the road, bro. But look, when we go on the road, you don't just get improv songs. You get a lecture. You get other people lecturing. Jamie, our guests like Jim Bob and Isaac and others. You get it all. I mean, you know what I'm saying? L. Ron Hubbard was kind of thick though. I was looking at pictures of him. I was like, I bet that dude's got a big old booty, dude. He got that Sea Org booty. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Sea Org, just thick, just THICCCC. Sea Org. THICC Org booty, baby. Packing it in the back net. Packing it up while he's backing it up. And we know that, you know, Tom Coom and friends, you know, we got people that they're more of a butt man than a boob man, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway. Welcome everybody. Should we get into the mix or should we sing some more songs? What do y'all want to do? By the way, where's the supporters? Y'all want to support via super chats? Do so through the Streamlabs link right here. I'm in a goofy mood, man. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Everybody seemed to enjoy the live song performances. A lot of y'all, though, y'all ain't been to Florida. People are, why are you in Florida? Well, have you ever been here? If you had been here, you would understand. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to take a little trip down here to Florida with me to understand what it's like down here? Now, Tennessee is good too. There's pros and cons to both. So I'm not trying to diss my southern folk. Y'all want some more singing? All right, let's mix it up. We'll sing and we'll watch some videos. Let's all of y'all are going to come with me on a trip down to Florida. Does this have music in it? It does. So this is, I wish I could play a lot of videos like this without the music playing, but. So welcome to Orlando in 1994, Florida vacation. Y'all coming with us? Let's come down. We're gonna go on an e-vacation. A lot of y'all can't make it in person, so come on an e-vacation. So let's see what we got going down in Florida. I'm gonna tell you how accurate it is. So the rail, this is probably the Disney rail, right? I think Orlando is looking a little rougher than that these days. When we went to Orlando, it was trashier than it looks in 1994. So I don't know if you want to come right now, but there is a lot of nice places in Florida. I do not recommend necessarily Orlando. I mean, you got, New World Order Central with Disney there. A lot of weird mind control, creepy stuff going on at Disney. Sailboats. I don't know about sailboats. Do y'all want to go sailing? Sailing's not that much fun. Has anybody gone sailing? I remember my dad was in the Navy. He took me out on the sailboat, as they called it, the USS Bagley, which is now decommissioned, probably because they just realized that sailing sucks. They were like, we're on a giant gray-ass boat made of metal, just a big chunk of metal, and we're getting seasick, and it's not much fun out here. Let's just decommission this damn thing. Shit sucks. And they were working on, lasers and shit on the ocean. And who's going to fight a laser battle on the ocean? You know what I'm saying? Come on. My dad was working on the R2-D2 gun on the boat. And he gets furious if you call it a boat, by the way. It's a ship. It's a ship. Is there a real difference between a boat and a ship? I mean, maybe there is, but who cares, dude? It's not called comic books. They are called graphic novels. It is not called a ship. It's not called a boat. It's called a ship. But I'll show you the gun. I don't know how we get on this weird topic. So this was what my dad worked on. The sea wheels. The sea wheels. This is the Navy's deadly autocannon. So you see, they called it R2-D2 because it looks like R2-D2, right? So basically, it's that little R2-D2 thing there. It fires like some ridiculous amounts of bullets a second. Watch this thing. Ready? Anyway, my dad would be up in that thing. My dad's in that little thing with a little remote control going. Brr, brr, brr. I'm just joking. There's no little man. My dad is a Willow. My dad is a midget. He's Willow. My dad is a little man that sits inside of that thing and goes. Brr, brr. So that's my dad. That's why I got a complex about being only 6'2" and not 6'6" like Tom. Not Tom Coombs. Tom Coombs is like 4 foot, dude. Like Sam High. Sam High is like 6'6". So anyway, no, we're not gonna go on the boat on our Florida vacation. Welcome everybody, y'all with me on the. Woo! Look at these babes. We got a creepy ass, skinny serial killer boomer with a couple moms. This matchup doesn't make sense. Maybe that's their dads or something. I mean, I'm not saying these are the hottest babes ever, but I mean, you got like a Skittles Jesuit serial killer priest with who's he's exuding HIV positivity over here with like some mid-tier not too bad looking aunts and sisters over here, aunts and they sister. I'm not buying this. That's some kind of setup. Now here's another boat over here. We got Lou Ferrigno little brother over here. We got Eric Estrada We got Lou. We got a little Lou Ferrigno's cousin, Eric Estrada, right there with the muff haircut, and a couple of ants again. Then we got what dog is that? There's Air Bud up here. We got Air Bud. Shout out to Air Bud up there. Air Bud was a local celebrity in Orlando in the 90s, especially. Y'all remember Air Bud? Do you know a fact? Air Bud got drafted before Kobe back in the 90s. Few people know that. Let's see. Air Bud. Air Bud sounds like it sounds like some kind of something to do with weed culture. You know what I'm saying? Air Bud. Here's the original trailer popping out. Bowl cuts. Look at that. That's a sign of white. Supremacy, by the way. Air Bud is secret white. Look, it's all white people. Look at that. Woke. Look. Brushing his teeth. Doesn't he? I want to see him go into. Yes. Gets drafted. First round draft pick. Air Bud. Anyway. So there's Air Bud up there on the. He's like Leo. He's like, I'm the king of the world. I'm the king of the world. In the 90s, like I said, Air Bud was king of the world. Dude, he was getting more chicks than Leo in the early 90s. Few people know this. So that's why he's up there doing that Leo move. King of the world. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome, everybody. We got a couple super chats. Welcome to Florida. Everybody's joining me on a Florida vacation. 1994. I forget what grade I was in. Maybe freshman? I'm like a freshman in high school. By the way, I took a trip down here, I think, in 1995. And we came right around to this area here, maybe. If this looks like Panama City. This doesn't look like Orlando. I don't know. Maybe it is Orlando. I'm not sure. But Orlando's in the middle, so this is not actually on the ocean. So this might not be Panama. I can't tell. That looks like it's on the water. Orlando does have a lot of water around it, though, like lakes and shit. Yeah, okay. Now we're not in Orlando no more. Hey, wait, you fading out? This is the visualizer for when you pass out. You had too much to drink in 1994. You got drunk with Air Bud over. You and Leo and Air Bud was getting drunk on the boat, not the ship. Or where are we going next? We got some. Look, that's Donald Trump's yacht over there on the right. What was the name of that yacht? Remember, Donald Trump he sold his Bond villain yacht to frickin' was that Daytona? Daytona's got pretty trashy. They're trying to actually fix up Daytona now. They're trying to do a little bit of gentrification on it. But I thought it was funny that when they had the ultimate 4-day 90s alt rock, butt rock band extravaganza a couple months ago, guess where they had it? You got it, Daytona. It was pretty crazy too, because it was like basically anybody in the 1990s that you would call a skank, it was every one of the skank bands was at Daytona a couple, maybe even 3 weeks ago. It's pretty wild. Yeah, that's right. So Trump sold that yacht to Adnan Khashoggi, and Whitney Webb says that Khashoggi used it for Jeff Stein McEffrey style filming operations for yacht parties. Lil Yachty. Welcome, everybody. If you want to support the stream, we're having fun today. We got a super chat from One in Lexi. I don't know what that means. $5. I remember that Crowley Thelemites were recruiting low-level intelligence nerds back when I was in the Air Force. These were role-playing game kids and weirdos like me. I think some of them who bought into it might have actually risen higher up in that world. Oh, interesting. I saw one of them, for example, on C-SPAN, and I thought, oh, I knew that guy. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like I remember back when I was in Tennessee, and this is like in the 2000s. I remember driving to the local bookstore when there was still Borders. Remember Borders Books? And I would drive to Borders Books a lot, to a military town that was not too far from where I lived. And I was always seeing soldiers over in the occult metaphysics section buying Crowley books, witchcraft books, ritual magic books. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably a way to, like you said, recruit and look for people with certain proclivities and nerds who want powers. Oh, I can't get a chick, so I'm gonna get into ritual magic so I can get that RIZZ magic. Anyway, so where are we at now? Are we in Tampa? What is this? All these Florida cities look the same after a while. Little yachty, big yachty. Princess Cruises over here. Has anybody ever been on a cruise? I'm thinking about eventually doing a cruise. Just because I've never done it. I don't know. Is it shitty? I've heard it's fun, but then it was a boomer that told me that. Now, if this is Miami, you're not gonna see light-skinned, dark-skinned, light-skinned girls rollerblading in Miami, or what you're gonna see I'm just telling you the truth. You're gonna see a lot of Latinas. So if you're a single man looking for a Latina, then maybe Miami is where you need to be. Because we was down, look, there's a freaking Miami Sound Machine right there. There's Gloria Estefan's on the right over there with Selena Gomez. Not Selena Gomez. Other Selena. Look, it's Gloria Estefan's on the right and Selena on the left. Look at that. Just out. Not even concerned. Look, in the 90s, you could just see pop stars out rollerblading. Just nobody even cared. By the way, do you notice that it's not a bunch of fatties everywhere, too? So we go back to 1994 and people are like normal sized. This is, I don't know what this is. Boca Raton, Miami, could be either one. They need to alert me to where we are on our little vacation. Welcome everybody down here to Florida on a vacation, hanging out. And so 1994 Florida to 2024 Florida doesn't look too much different, except for some of the cities are trashier and a lot more fatties. That's it. And if you go to Miami, you don't see like Miami Vice looking stuff going. You see a bunch of you just see Latinas everywhere. Shout out to my Latina princesses and queens out there. Slay queens. Get that stuff. Get that money, slay queens. Shout out. Okay, yeah, we know. Let's move on. Let's see some of the nightlife. Can we get some of the nightlife? No, I don't want to go on the speedboats. Everybody's always dying on speedboats. Now, that might be a little bit more fun, though, than a damn Navy boat going up and down, making your ass seasick, puking everywhere. Does not sound fun. By the way, I didn't see any fat people on the beach. You notice that? Let's see about the nightlife. Come on, what's going on at night? Where are we at? Miami now? Same place? This looks like about like a Florida nightlife. This is pretty accurate. Okay, yeah, we don't need to see the cruise line. Okay, what's going on? Yeah. Two white people walking. Racists. We don't know. Why would we think that two white people walk by the beach? Excuse me? No. Bigotry. Exposed. Let's see, what else? Yeah, this is pretty much what you see every day. Accurate. Look at that. Dude got capris on. Dude got capris. It looks like Matthew McConaughey over here with his capris. Right? But Matthew McConaughey's over here doing a damn footprints. He's like, I want to live out footprints poem in real life. All along, it was me carrying myself because I'm on God. Y'all ready for freedom? Freedom is about to come. Y'all ready for freedom? Y'all see that clip of him talking about freedom? Joseph sends $3 and says, thank you for your great content. I have a question. Have you heard of this before? Anti-NiceneChristianity.com. Are they schismatics or something? I have no idea, but it sounds like it's probably some nonsense. Extreme Birding, $5. If you're doing the 90s, do you remember the 90s show News Radio? I remember it, but I didn't watch it. Have you noticed that Matthew McConaughey kept the same aesthetic, which is that aesthetic, up to today? Because I saw him, you know what I'm saying, with the capri rolled up khakis and the white beach man shirt. And here he is doing a live reenactment of the Footprints poem. Y'all know the Footprints poem, right? It's like every evangelical grandma has the Footprints poem hanging up on the wall. But I saw, there's a clip. I got to pull it up. Let's just pull it up right now. I think I got it pulled up. Let's see. Y'all want to take a little, let's take a little Matthew break here. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, here it is. Y'all check this out. My boy Matthew Mick over here. I'm a little disappointed because he asked for people to send him the best impressions. I think mine is pretty good. It was better than a lot of the ones he was playing, by the way. So, let's see are y'all ready for freedom? Are you ready? I'm about to send a freedom shock to your system.
To have freedom. What I mean by that? Freedom, calling audibles, hey, I'll wing it. It's all a good notion. But we need preparation to have that freedom. Find out the structure of the situation. Know the rules.
You're going to need some freedom. You're going to need some preparation, H, for the freedom that I'm bringing. I'm bringing a level of freedom that's going to be preparation, H level. You know what I'm saying? H for hello. H for hey.
Rules of the game before you go play it.
Yeah.
Now, if you
look, he's got that exact same beach style. I like it. I'm gonna give Matthew and Mick a 9 out of 10 on beach style drip. Okay.
prepare, you look at athletes, they prepare for the playbook, they prepare for the team next week.
Yes.
The more you prepare,
okay,
the more when you are in the so-called game of life, you can call your own audible.
Did you see that? Did you see that when he turned that head? Did you see that ponytail exactly like what I had last week? Matthew, listen, man. I know where you're getting your drip. We all know. Because I had this exact same cool beach man, cool casual yet business beach man outfit on not too long ago. And I had the ponytail. So we all know where Matthew's getting his drip. Now, my prediction, this was 7 days ago. My prediction, Matthew will suddenly show up with something akin to this. And that's okay. Because look, it's a symbiotic relationship we got going here, right? I had a Nick Cage phase. It was a fun time. I've transitioned into Matthew Mick phase. And now I'm transitioning out of that because I got tired of the ponytail. It was too much RIZZ. It was too hot. It was too hot in a spiritual sense. It was too hot in a aesthetic sense. It was too hot in a temperature sense. It was triple hot. It was a dark trinity of hot. And so it had to go. But now I think Matthew is looking in my direction for style tips. And I think we all know that. And that's why you saw that ponytail look just like the ponytail
You
I
can
had.
improvise. You can riff.
Improvising, riffing, excuse me. He's talking about the freedom that I have and that I have exemplified. Icono Matt, $1. Will you do a review of the Kyle Need God Net debate? Guys, I mean, come on. Like, I'm not saying no, like I hate. It's just like, there doesn't need to be a review of every low tier, like Baptist Protestant debate. Why? Well, I'm not dissing Kyle at all. I'm saying we have had so many atheist, Protestant, Roman Catholic, and Muslim debates that I'm just tired of it. Like, from 2017 to that's 7 years of debates. I guarantee that there will never be a Protestant or Muslim argument. Maybe atheists too. They always say the same shit. I don't know, but Protestant, Muslim, atheist, Baptist, like you're not going to hear a new argument. Literally every argument is a regurgitation of an argument from Baptist or Calvinist or Reformed people from 20 years ago. And they're just regurgitating other Protestant arguments from 20 years before them. So, anyway, let's get back to our Florida vacation. We thank you, Matthew. We appreciate the drip. We know you're going to be going to this style next. Look for Matthew to be wearing some damn basil themed, looks like basil themed lounge coats. That's what I'm talking about. I went to the drip store and I said, "Hey, I like certain spices, not particular. Do not like the curry. Don't give me the curry jacket. Do not give me the curry." I said, "Give me the basil jacket. Give me the basil jacket, but I want it to be, you know, something that like Tony Clifton might wear, something that, I don't know, Dean Martin might wear, something Frankie Sinatra might wear." And they said, "I've got just the thing for you. I've got a basil themed lounge coat. Just the thing for the drip you're seeking." Shout out to everybody. Somebody said, "Looks maxing." You bet. Anyway, so look, but don't worry, we're gonna grow it the sides out a little more, and then we'll have we'll experiment with the Caesar. But anyway, welcome everybody to our Florida vacation. Appreciate that. Having a good time chatting, relaxing, relax maxing, beach maxing, 1994 beach maxing. Shout out to all of the players and the player haters. Step on over here to this palm tree. Look, there's more white people walking. Racist. It's an ant over here with oh, there we go, cool dudes. Look at that, Tom Coon and 90s Nicole Kidman over here, just out walking around, just at the over here at the Sandals Resort. Okay, look, nobody's fat. Isn't that crazy? I saw like a slightly chunky wine ant with that little kid a minute ago. But you notice the 1994 beach. You can survey, nobody is even chunky. That's crazy. If you go to the beach now, you're like, I would say literally around here, probably 50 to 60% are overweight. Okay? Not overweight. Look at that. Not overweight. Look at that. Nobody's overweight. Like that dude in the background back there looking around lost. He's got a little bit of a beer gut. That's it. That's crazy. Not overweight. Not overweight. Nobody is overweight. There's one fat dude right there with with sort of levels of breasts there. That's interesting. Interesting shapes. Humans have a lot of interesting shapes. but nobody else is massive. Like you go to the beach now, it's like, hey, you get some blinders on at the beach. Parasailing, no, it looks stupid. I'm not doing that. Let's just drive around Miami now. Look for some, I don't know. Look for some drug lords or something. Is that what we do in Miami? The Doral. So look at that. In the 1980s or 90s, your uncle's cigarettes was so popular that they could have a whole resort, just an uncle's cigarette resort, Doral. You come down there basically just to smoke cigarettes and lay on the beach. If you send in enough cigarette wrappers, your uncle will take you down to Doral Resort. I mean, they had a Parliament resort. They had a Doral resort. If your aunts want to go, they go to a separate resort called Franzia Resort. Your wine ants get a vacation. Look at them ugly ass buildings. Were they all designed by the frickin' Frankfurt School? Like, Florida contracted the entire Frankfurt School to design all of the disgusting Bauhaus buildings. Build a frickin' pretty resort. Come on now. Look at that. We got frickin' U.S. Marshals marching around on horses down here. You come down, you don't want to mess around down here. You get trampled by a U.S. Marshal on a damn. He's a damn Tonto down here is recruited to be the marshal. We mean business down here. What's up? Cameraman was trying to spit some game, and then this horse cop the cock blocked him. horse cop blocked him. The cameraman was trying to spit game at this ant over here, and horse cop was like, "Nah, get out of here. This chick's mine." So he cop blocked her. Look, nobody's fat. No, look, nobody's fat in 1994. What the heck, dude? Everybody's freaking skinny too. Like a little too skinny. That dude's a little creepy over there. I don't know what this is. Southern Florida? Okay, so we're down by Miami now. There's a chunky kid. There's one chunky kid. That's it. Get out of the way, chunky kids. The heck is that ugly thing? That ain't fine art. Okay, yeah. It's showing the Chinese restaurant. We got Claire Huxtable over here. Look, Claire Huxtable's just out. We got a lot of famous, like in Florida, the famous people just don't even, because they just go hanging out. You got Claire Huxtable over here just squirting mustard. Don't give a damn. Just squirting mustard. Feeble Fobble Zeeble Zobble. Bill Cosby over there. Watch out for what's in the mustard, though. Right? Hey, Claire Huxtable. Watch out for what the special sauce that Dr. Huxtable might have put up in that mayonnaise. This is a basic rule of life. Don't take no mustard. Don't take no mustard from anybody. But don't take no mustard, especially from Dr. Huxtable. Can you believe how skinny everybody is? I can't believe it. By the way, if you want to support the show, support the stream. We're having fun today. People keep annoying me. Do another debate. Do another debate. Dude, I've done 7 years of damn debates for y'all people. And it's never enough. Where is everybody? There ain't nothing else to do today. What else is there better to do than to have me crooning about Tom Coonan? Tom Coonan. I'm Cooman and crooning for Tom Coonan. That sounds weird. I'm crooning for Tom Coonan. Look, even Claire Huxtable's polite enough to hand the salt to other people. She wasn't all stuck up as a celebrity. Look, skinny, skinny, skinny. Everybody's skinny. Too skinny. Shout out to them super chats. Appreciate that, you guys. Hanging out in Florida in 1990. Oh, now we going to a damn fancy dinner with a wine ant. Got a cigarette in the restaurant? What? What's your uncle up? What's your greasy ass uncle? What's up with Uncle's face? Look how greasy Uncle's face. Uncle, why you running? He must have, because I know what happened. He's out of breath because he's smoking Dorals. By the way, my uncle is like a mega Doral smoker. That's why I said that. My actual uncle is a mega Doral smoking man. My uncle would blow his Doral smoke in the face of the cigarette smoking man. That's how much of a cigarette Doral man my uncle is. He would have owned that damn Doral resort. Okay. And so when you're at the Doral resort, Doral is probably the worst thing on your lungs. He got out of breath just walking to the restaurant down at the bottom of the resort. So his face is all greasy as hell. Look at that greasy ass uncle. Don't order fried food, Uncle Doral. Look at that racist. Got a Mexican waiter. Racist. Hispanic. That's racist. Chemtrailing. Look at that, all spitting out all them damn fumes. This is the Doral Resort again. When you look, the Doral, the private plane of the Doral Resort, it looks like it's fueled by Doral smoke. Look at all that yellow nicotine ass smoke coming out of that private jet. Oh, we gonna fly your ass to the Doral Resort. We gonna fly your ass down there, but this whole damn private plane runs on Doral tobacco. And everybody at the Doral Resort talks like that with that diner waitress cigarette voice too, right? You want some more Doral with that meat? Did you want the menthol steak, or did you want the smooth chicken flavor? That's nicotine fumes, dude. That's at the Doral Resort where your uncle goes, and your aunt's over at the Franzia Resort. The Franzia Resort. Look, the whole thing is nicotine smoke colored. I feel like we're in the 70s now. Did we move from the night? Did we multiverse phase shift into the 1970s somehow to this ugly ass resort? Hell no, I'm going to that. Let's go to eat, y'all. I'm getting hungry. Y'all ready to eat? Look at we're back to the damn Doral Resort, exactly like I said. Look at that. Feminist Rapu says for $25. Yeah, I'm wondering, have you ever played trading cards like Magic the Gathering? Have you ever played trading cards like Magic the Gathering? No, I have a wife and I had girlfriends. What does that tell you? I did, however, in the 1990s. Actually, right around this time. So while your uncle was down here at Doral Resort getting greasy ass menthol flavored steaks and chicken at the Doral Resort, in 1994, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, probably literally at this exact moment. So, no. And this was before Gary Gygax and the D&D people had introduced them stupid ass figurines. So, what happened was in the 90s, nerdy people, like it was different. The whole society wasn't nerdy. It was only like an underground secret society club of nerds. Okay, and so in my freshman year, I was on the basketball team, so I kind of had like the potentiality for popularity, right? So I didn't want people really knowing that I did like to play Dungeons and Dragons. So we would kind of have like a secret underground D&D kind of thing. So it was me, another kind of popular dude, an 8th grade dude. This is my freshman. I was in 9th grade, right? And then this older dude who was like a 80s metalhead dude who was like 30, way older than us, Harry, and he was the dungeon master. Anyway, I have to say, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. The classic Dungeons and Dragons, where you have a dungeon master and the freaking 700-sided dice and all of that shit. That was fun. But then, like, it got weirder and weirder and creepier, and I remember going to, because it would overlap with comics, right? So I would go to the comic conventions with my buddy who was trying to be a comic book artist, who did eventually succeed in doing it. He became the Game of Thrones artist. Shout out to Tommy. But I noticed at that time when we go to the comic conventions in Chicago, that was when the Comic-Con was just getting big. They were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. More and more people, and then they started bringing in the Prawn Stars. And the people's asses were stanking up the place. So bad that they started telling the dorks, and it was mainly at that time the Magic the Gathering figurine dorks, because it turned into figurines, and then it became the cards. And they started stanking up the whole conventions. And they started asking them, please don't come to the Comic-Con unless you had a shower. Imagine having to request a shower for attendance. Mandatory. They was out there hosing down like a 1950s civil rights demonstration, hosing down fat, stanky nerds before they came in the convention. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was like. Anyway, but I was walking next to that. There's a lot of funny stories. This is the story of where I got into the fight. Not a physical fight, an IQ, an emotional, an intelligence battle with the Beastmaster. I've told that story a million times, and I got to tell the Beastmaster story again. But have I told you not Ariana Grande, or somebody, Ariana something else. So I was walking. We had to park at that one of the years we went, probably 2004 or 5, somewhere in there. 2004. And my buddy who was about to get signed around this time, maybe a few years later. No, he wasn't signed yet. So we've been going to these conventions off and on since like 1995 or 6, right? I would drive up there with him, and I went just to have fun. I didn't care about comic books anymore. But I did like the fact that in the 90s and in the 2000s at the comic conventions, they would actually have people who, were in movies that you liked. Like, oh, I thought it'd be cool. Yeah, let's go meet Beastmaster. That's going to be fun, dude. Get a picture with Beastmaster. That sounds like fun. And then all of a sudden, the one year that we went, about 2004 or 5, they started bringing all the Prawn Stars, and I was walking. We had a park like a mile away from the convention, and so I'm walking next to this chick wearing a bunch of diamonds, and I'm like, "Who is this chick?" And I started trying to talk to her. Nothing really happened. She kind of ignored me, and then my brother and my buddy Tommy, everybody's cracking up, and I'm like, "What are y'all laughing at?" They're like, "That's the biggest prawn star in the world, dude. You trying to talk to the biggest prawn star?" I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What's she doing here?" And then it turns out that was the year they brought all the prawn stars to the convention, and I'm like, "This is a kids convention. This is crazy. Why are y'all asking me crazy moral questions, bro? I'm not here to answer your moral questions. Go ask." I'm so sick of people asking me the moral questions and like, what am I supposed to do about, I'm an 80-year-old man, can I marry a 30-year-old Orthodox woman? Dude, I can't tell you that. Anyway. So I was over here trying to like talk to the biggest prawn store in the world. I don't even know. That's a true story too, by the way. Anyway. Let's see what the nightlife. Let's go to y'all ready to eat in Florida? Look, not fat, not fat. Look at this ant over here looking like Tom Hanks. Look, look, ants over here looking like Tom Hanks. Ant Hanks. And you notice Tom Hanks in the 80s and 90s was always dressing up like a woman. Like, that's funny. Why did people... I don't understand why people thought that Tom Hanks and Dustin Hoffman and like dressing up like women, it's not even funny. Tom Hanks is a woman. It's madcap comedy. It's off the charts. It's not like Randy Balls, but Randy Balls probably would like Tom Hanks dressed as a woman, like as if that's funny. We got Menudo. Y'all remember Menudo? Live Menudo. Come check it out down here in Florida. A lot of Puerto Ricans, Cubans down here. You can learn to do the salsa. Learn to do some of that Patrick Swayze dancing. Who in the audience wants to go Patrick Swayze dance? Not with me, but with Patrick Swayze and Menudo. Does anybody remember? People don't even know what Menudo is. There was a whole show of Tom Hanks and somebody else. Was it Dustin Hoffman? Or was it a movie? Tootsie, remember that? It's supposed to be funny. That's not funny. Now that's a bumping club right there. There's no COVID in sight. Not a coof in sight. bumping. What's up? Shout out. Come and dance with everybody's ants. Even ants did the dance in the 1990s. Florida looks fun as hell, I'll be honest with you. 1995 Florida's the bomb, dude. Let's go. Now, the bad part about Florida is basically now half of Florida is freaking vape shops, CBD shops, and kratom and all this kind of shit. It's like, can we bring back this where I can just go for clothing? Y'all need a let's get a glow up for some of y'all out there. Look, not fat. None of these women are fat. Everybody's normal size. Let's go to coconut candles. I see a lot of people in the audience that could definitely get coconut candled. What's up? Shout out to Unreasonable Man. Shout out to the new. Let me pin that comment. You want to support the stream? Do so via the Streamlabs right there. Shout out to our new viewers. We're having fun. 1994 was a weird year for me, but it wasn't all bad. It was not terrible. The 95, 96, 97 got better. Oh, remember this? Alai. Remember this because this is in the opening scene of No Fatties, Count Me Out. We got some size maxers in the audience. Some skin maxers. They want extra skin on their women. So Alai, if you remember, is in the opening sequence of Miami Vice. And it turns out, I remember reading about this some years back, because if you watch the Johnny Depp, the John Depp movie Black Mass, there's a scene where he goes down to Florida for one of the mob connections, and it's the people behind Alai. So Alai was actually kind of bound up with organized crime and betting and money laundering. Thank you. Appreciate those. Fascinating story about Alai. You a lie, Alai. Alai. It sounds like a millennial or a Gen Z black person naming their kid. I'm gonna name him Alai. Doesn't that sound like that kind of a name? I'm not dissing black people. I love black people. But look, black people know what I'm talking about. Alai. Look at this stupid ass sport. This is the dumbest sport ever. America's forgotten sport. Alai. See, because it's in the Miami Vice. So you wear basically a giant husk and throw a ball across a court like I don't know. It's like a giant Cuban version of racquetball. Or what do the British boys call it? Squash or whatever? You mean racquetball? But Alai was connected to the mafia. People don't know that. Is it, let's see, Roger Wheeler? Yes. Look at that. American businessman from Tulsa, chairman of Telex, and the former owner of World Alai. It was uncovered that he was involved in an embezzlement scheme at World Alai. Which is interesting too, because he was actually Notre Dame, Rice University graduate, Navy Reserve, science and engineering dude. Not the kind of dude you would expect to create and be involved in a giant mafia fake sport. Roger Wheeler, Voices of Oklahoma Historical Society. The riveting story of the Boston Mafia murdering this Tulsa businessman. Why the Boston? Oh, yeah, that's right, because that's why Whitey Bulger goes down there to try to settle the score with this dude, because Whitey Bulger was part of the Boston Mafia. Remember when I asked Sammy the Bull about Whitey Bulger, and he said, "The guy is a fucking degenerate. What else can I say? He's a fucking degenerate. Worst guy ever." That's pretty bad. If like, you know, the other mobsters are calling you the ultimate degenerate. That's pretty funny. But that's the story of Alai. This dumbass sport. Look at that. Hulk Hogan's out here just hanging out. The Hulkster. "Hey, brother. Wanna catch a sea bass, brother?" What is this? Why would I want travel guides to foreign cities if I'm in Florida? There we go. Look at that. Travel International. Warning. Warning. Alright. Was that enough of Florida? Hope you guys enjoyed our little Florida vacation. Shout out to everybody who's enjoying our songs. You want to sing again? I'm in a singing mood. Let's try one of the classics. Y'all ready to sing again? Now, when I start singing is when the super chats come. So if you see, look at that right away. Everybody's like, all right, we're sick of the Doral Resort. Okay, too much cigarette smoker, secondhand, nasty secondhand uncle smoke down here at the Doral Resort.
The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature, to be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
Angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scoundrels, giant death factories, keeping babies alive. They're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum.
They literally crawl out from under rocks. They're green skinned and they run around screaming, "We love Satan, we wanna eat babies." I have them on video. Hillary's into creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with a creepy weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. Her head. But number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just sink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Yeah. Oops, I messed up.
Literal vampire pop and the goblins hobbling around looking after us. My spirit gets close to the evil and I feel it go
We're such self-centered crap. We don't even self-rising up against us. Millions of party people of the very worst kind. Man, I'm so pissed. Got the Alex block. I'm at the mall. Oh. Gonna start your wife, your son. With a butcher knife, and the police chief is gonna sing. We love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so sweet. Oh, they're so sweet. Oops. I messed it up a couple times. I haven't sang it in a while. I messed up a couple times.
I worked out this morning.
Unbelievable.
Wix.
Oh, feeling good though. Y'all having fun? Is this Mumford and Sons? Yes. Yes. No, it's Bon Iver. I remember one time I said, "Oh, Bon Iver," and some douchebag, freaking hipster said, "It's Bon Iver. It's not Bon Iver, you uncultured rube." It's Bon Iver. It's Bon Iver. I was like, I'm about to rip your damn twizzle sticks mustache off of your face, you freaking hipster. Hipsters are pretty much gone though, aren't they? Like hipster was a millennial thing. That's gone. What is it now? I don't know what we have. Hipsters are dead. We got the, I don't know what Gen Z are. Just mutants, goblins. I don't know what. I'm just joking. I love my Gen Zs out there. Shout out to the Gen Zs. Gen Z. I like my. Did y'all like the Tom Coombs song? Some of y'all just got here. I think we had a pretty much a fire Tom Coombs improv song at the beginning of today's fun stream. We had a good Florida vacation down at the Doral resort with my uncle.
Gives you the power of AI.
What am I doing? I can't play this. Return of the Macs. Return of the Mac karaoke. Your daughter at the mall. Oh, oh. Let's see. You got to find the one that doesn't trigger the algo. Where's it at? I hope it's still here. I get into this damn song. Yeah, here it is. This song, I get into this. This song makes me. This is my jam right here. Well, I tried to tell you so, but I guess you didn't know. As the saddest story goes, baby, now I got the flow, cause I knew it from the start. Baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again and show you that I'm real. You lied to me all those times I said that I love you. You lied to me. Yes, I tried. Yes, I tried. You lied to me. Even though you know I'd die for you. You lied to me. Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. Return of the Mac. Here it is. Return of the Mac. Come on. Return of the Mac. Oh my gosh. You know that I'll be fine. Here I am. Return of the Mac. Oh, once again. Return of the Mac. Top of the world. So I'm back up in the game, running things to take my swing, letting all the people know that I'm back to run the show. Cause what I did, you know, was wrong, and all the nasty things you've done. So baby, listen carefully while I sing my comeback song. You lied to me. You lied to me. You lied to me. You lied to me. My damn light went out. Hold on, let me plug the light in. I'm forever cursed with technical problems. I could give the greatest show of all time, but I'm still cursed with technical problems. Listen, y'all come to the live show. You know what? We're going to do the next live show in Nashville, and we'll have Jim Bob there too, probably. Y'all want to do another Nashville show in about 6 weeks? And almost you get a whole lecture of all the nerd facts that everybody wants. And you're going to get more songs. I'm going to sing all these songs live. That's how we open it up. I sing, I do a bunch of impressions. I do some jokes, as they say. Anyway, welcome everybody. We're having fun. What do you want? Y'all want to go? Y'all want to learn some forbidden knowledge? You want to go back to? Let's go to the 80s. Y'all want to go to the 80s? Because we've been. I mean, we had a whole Florida vacation. Y'all with me? And there's some crazy stuff in there. We gotta look at some schizo stuff too. Let me see. Where's the 80s? The 80s stuff. Hold up. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, here it is. All right, y'all ready to take? Let's take a trip to the 80s. We had fun in the 90s. Let's do a little bit of 80s-ing. First person cue says for $5. Money's for funnies, baby. That's what I'm talking about. He feels me right there. First person Q-tar. Shout out to him. Nate, $5. I didn't know you had some torta pounders in the audience. I don't know what that means, but I like it. And I want a part of that. T. Sanders, $5. This is for your beautiful singing. I'm glad that we're finally starting to recognize skill sets and talents. Okay? I'm sick of debating. I'm ready to become a lounge singer, a performer, an artist, some might say. The artist formerly known as Jay Dyer. No more debates. It's time to rock. It's time to rock the city. It's time to burn the roof down. It's on fire. Or however that ethnic song goes. The roof must burn down because it is on fire. The roof will collapse and burn down because it is on fire. That's the white man version of that ethnic ditty. You know what? I can sing the Weird Science song. And I can almost sing like Danny Elfman. I mean, I can't sing as good as Danny Elfman, but I can tweak my voice to almost do the weird inflections that basically Danny Elfman's voice sounds like it's haunted. And he has this really unique way to do this ghostly, etheric sound with his voice. So the Bloodhound Gang did a white version of Roof is on Fire. That sounds funny. Yeah, exactly. So it's time for my residency in Vegas. We just went there, you know, and basically it was like, okay, I could do a residency here for a little while, but not when it's 110 degrees every day. So not at that time. I'm gonna have to work on my Danny Elfman inspired singing. But there's actually, I mean, Danny Elfman's kind of a crazy dude. I mean, that dude's wild crazy, right? But I do like his musical talents. He's very good. Yeah, I'm gonna go. We sing and play Oingo in the car all the time. Jamie and I do. So, not all their songs, not that one Creeper song, but Danny Elfman seems crazy. But sometimes the musicians are crazy. I sing a lot of Prince, though, as you guys know. You know what? Can we do? My favorite song is Pink Cashmere, probably. But I don't think you can ever find.
Ooh, if I go again, falling in love all over. Ooh, the circle never ends. You just pray you don't get burned. Ooh, this fire inside of me, don't nobody realize. Ooh, what you are to me, baby, you got to learn. I'm making you a coat of pink cashmere. You got to know how I feel about you, how I always want you near. Making you a coat of pink cashmere. I can't hit that super high one that Prince can hit. But I don't think this one will work because it triggers the algo. But this one's a fun one to sing, if you can sing this one. You got to know how I feel about you, how I always want you near. I don't think this will work. Plus, the karaoke's versions always sound like crap. Like the music sounds like elevator music. You know what I mean? That sounds terrible. There's no lyrics. Ooh, here I go again, falling in love all over. Ooh, the cycle never ends. You just pray you don't get burned. Ooh, this fire inside of me don't nobody realize. Ooh, what you are to me, baby, you got to learn.
See, there is no karaoke for that. That's weird. By the way, that music sucked too, by the way. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, am I transitioning to pop star lounge singer? Yes, probably. Performer, artist formerly known as Jay. Yep. So there's your reveal today. Anyway, so we're talking about going back to the 80s. Excuse me, I totally got distracted. We're going back to the 80s. I like this profile quite a bit right here.
Oh, here I go again, falling in love all over. Oh, the cycle never ends. You just pray you don't get burned. Oh.
Doral Silverton, keeping the theme of Doral and your uncle's nasty cigarette brand. We got to talk to Doral Singleton, my boy over here, because some of y'all look, we're gonna solve this problem of too many Ham Planet chunksters that we got out there. We're gonna solve this with our boy Doral. Okay, let's move it to this. We're gonna learn. we're gonna start an exercise regimen for y'all out there.
Part of it, and then later we'll show you some exercises you won't be able to follow along with. The last exercise for the calves is called jumping up and down, and follow along with Zara. He's gonna do 10 of them.
I like this. Exercise is way too simple. I mean, too complex these days. Okay, we've got, you know, all of these crazy diets and the fads, and you know, where I come from, where everybody still looks like this man to this day, where I come from, in Tennessee. Okay, exercise is simple. You ask your uncle, your Doral uncle. Hey, Uncle Gary, how do I get fit? You want to get fit? Jump your ass up and down. That'll get your ass fit. That's what I'm talking about. Simple Southern wisdom. Yeah, exactly. The Barbarian Brothers, the Conan Brothers, or whatever their name was. Simple Southern wisdom. You want your ass fit? Jump your ass up and down, son.
1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we're gonna do.
I like how he said at the beginning, consult a physician before doing this exercise. Consult a physician before jumping.
Is some my friend
old school workout.
Doral Silverthorn's gonna talk
Doral,
about the
what's up?
relationship with fitness and the Bible.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get spiritually fit and physically fit. And the most fit person to speak on this subject would definitely be a guy named Doral Silverthorn. That is probably the coolest name I've ever heard in my life. Like, my uncle is jealous of that name, who smokes Dorals. You know what I'm saying?
I wish to say...
Whoa! It's Grandpa. I thought it was going to be a cool dude. It's freaking Grandpa. What the heck?
That our government is a two-faced hypocrite.
Hell yeah! Doral Silverthorn bringing the heat. That's awesome.
The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna have a foot race between.
I like how that. What does that have to do with exercising? Just some old guy, some old veteran saying that the government's a two-faced hypocrite, and then it cuts away back to the. He looks like a damn festival bro. He's either a festival bro or a guy that lives in a van, or both.
Czar.
We're cutting back to this dude. This dude's way ahead of his time, because this is the 80s. And you got this guy over here. You got Florida man looking like a festival bro of today. That's what I'm talking about. Today's hits. and yesterday's favorites of 80s, 90s, and the RIZZ of today. I had to change it out because when you go live and now it says if you got a term in your title that's shadow banned, it warns you on Streamlabs. So I'm like, schizo is a shadow banned word? Yeah, my polycule's over here doing some spiritual bench press.
Big Zaddy.
Big Zaddy. By the way, who got this crew together? Okay, you got Fitness Uncle looking like one of the Conan brothers, the Barbarian brothers. You got Doral Silverthorn, the based veteran. And then you got the Festival Bro over here. This is the weirdest crew. We just need a black dude and an Asian woman now to round out the diversity of this crew.
I'd like to thank all my...
Now we got freaking Conan. We got Dolph Lundgren up in this crew. Well, did the dude grow a mustache? Or is that the same dude? I'm confused. This is a crew right here. Who the hell is this crew? We got Dolph Lundgren, your uncle, Doral Silverthorn, and Festival Boy. I like this. By the way, this Instagram profile is awesome. This is one of the best ones that I've seen in a while. There's a lot of fun 80s things over here on Totally 80s. So let's check out some of the 80s.
Self-tested up, is that right? Yeah. How's it gonna look for you? It's gonna be all right. I'll make it. Is it? Okay, let's go at it. Sure. Lucky landing. Yeah.
Oh shit! I like this. This is some 80s stuff right here. This is what you do as a kid in the 80s. You try to jump. You try to jump your BMX over a bunch of trash cans. What do y'all think? Is he gonna do it? Can we get a? Would this be a better view of this? No. Let's go back to this. All right, let me reorganize here. There we go. Baby, you got to learn. Making you a coat of pink cashmere. Y'all know what happened when I tried to sing for Simon Thorne. That sounds like a villain in a 90s comic book movie. Simon Thorne. I'm thinking of Thorne because of this old dude. Simon Cowell. Y'all remember when I tried to sing for Simon Cowell? He dissed me. So if I transition over into being a performer, lounge singer, the artist formerly known as Jay Dyer, I gotta do covers for a while. I gotta do some of the more cringecore songs. By the way, I'm not literally saying some of the spurs. Did you hear that Dyer said he's no longer going to be talking about doing debates anymore? It's just a joke, dude. We're just having fun today. But I do want to have more fun streams because the fun streams are more fun. Right? Simon is a hater, dude. I put together a beautiful routine for Simon and he hated on it. Anyway. I should try out for American Idol. In my mind, that's all that there ever was. Like, people talk about all these shows, and I'm like, you mean American Idol? You mean Clay Aiken? That's all I think of when I hear this shit. Clay Aiken, I remember him. Simon Thorne. That's a villain name if ever there was one, isn't it? So do you like Skibbity Toilet? Listen. You got to be ready for freedom. And when I say freedom, I mean Skibbity Toilet freedom, y'all. All right, so will this kid? What's y'all's bet? Will he clear 8 trash cans on his BMX? Will he be officially rad? By the way, support the stream via super chat. Super chats are in the pinned comment there. Thank you to the mods, Slowboy, and others who are also adding that. Did y'all like the updated intro? I like to cycle through different intros, right? We did this Nintendo 64 Bond theme intro for like the last year almost, so I wanted to pull back from some of the classics, a little bit of Amid the Ruins, A little bit of Carl Casey, which I made my fake stock footage music video for. Okay, so nobody thinks he's gonna do it. Let's see. He almost did it. He just needed a little more speed. This is Van Damme. We need more Van Damme on this channel. Van Damme it. Right? Yeah, I mean, the one thing that this channel has not had enough of is Van Damme. And there's a lot of funny shit with Van Damme. I don't know if you guys know. But listen, this is, once again, nobody in the 1980s was chunky, apparently. Whoa, dude. Van Damme was an odd character. It's like he's just sort of... I need to play Hackers by Carl Casey. Okay. So, yeah. Like, when he starts dancing... I feel like when Van Damme starts dancing here, his ballet training is coming out. There's a little bit too much... Dude, Van Damme in the 80s and 90s was always in biker shorts. Like, he never took those biker shorts off. Imagine peeling those off, how nasty they would be. Ugh. All that ballet sweat. And it's like, well, he had to only wear biker shorts because he was doing the splits every day. How are you going to do the splits every day if you're wearing tight-ass, butt-cut, butt-hugger jeans from the 1980s? You know what I mean? Butt-hugger shorts from the 1980s. For some reason, dudes in the 80s, and dads especially, thought everybody needed to have the shortest, smallest, tightest shorts ever. Where basically your testicles could just fall out at any moment, and half the time we're just peeking out. Everybody's dad thought, yes. Do we need that? Yes. So Van Damme obviously couldn't be wearing that, because if you do the splits every day, which he literally did, I don't just mean try. You guys have seen the Van Damme move, right? Everybody knows the Van Damme splits. And Jim Bob sent me a picture the other day. We need more Van Damme on this channel. Van Damme it. Look, it's like the second thing that comes up. Splits. Yes. I mean, you're doing this shit every day, dude. Right? How are you gonna wear butt huggers like everybody else in the 80s and do that? The epic split? Is that for real? How the hell did you do that one? Oh, they the trucks drove a little bit apart. Okay, that makes sense. Van Damme's over here doing Illuminati confirm. This is the only way you could do that split's Illuminati confirm. That's what I'm talking about. Van Damme it. Anyway. Jim Bob sent me a picture of Van Damme the other day. True story, too, by the way. Check this out. This was funny. I put this on Twitter. I don't think people realize it wasn't like a fake thing. This is a real conversation I was having with Jim Bob. Yeah, here you go. Jim Bob. Guess who that is? Literally either Jean-Claude Van Damme or my dad. Because it literally looks like... That's Jean-Claude Van Dad, dude. Jean-Claude Van Dad. That looks just like my dad. Literally. I'm not joking either. Anyway, we need more Jean-Claude Van Damme on this channel for sure. Let's see what else is going on over here on the 80s. Now there's an alien woman. I don't know if it's on. Let's see if it's on this channel. By the way, bowling is the only sport where you literally are better if you smoke Dorals. We'll see that in a minute, but now I can't find it. There's a woman abducted. Check this out. This was crazy. Yeah, here we go. So y'all saw I put in the title, right? Originally it had Schizo in the title. Skitsity toilet in the title. Schizo toilet. It is from the 80s. Okay, same. This Instagram profile is awesome. This is wild. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you want to support the stream, do so via super chats. There's nothing more fun than singing and reminiscing about the 80s and the 90s. I mean, what's more fun than that? Woman abducted by aliens, but she's a lady of the evenings for the aliens. Let's see what this is about.
He took us along to meet someone who swears she's been beamed up into a spaceship on numerous occasions for some very, very close encounters.
I like that drawing, dude. That's a drawing by the same brother that drew the leprechaun. All right. To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is get over that tree. I'm gonna get that gold.
I was put in a kind of like a sterilization chamber to be cleansed of earth bacteria.
A sterilization chamber? The aliens are eugenicists. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up? Is the stream still here? Are we good? Looked like we dipped out for a second. Well, wait a minute. Why is her son there? She literally got her son, and she drew a picture. She looks like she got her son to draw. She got her 4-year-old to draw the picture. So wait a minute. That's a tanning bed too, and there's a bottle of wine. What? There's a bottle of wine there. I mean, if the aliens can knock you out and do butt stuff like that, you don't need the wine.
Several of these creatures had sexual relations with me.
And how many nights a week did you go become a hooker for UFO?
For a while, it was every night.
I see nothing wrong at all.
Richard Dominic is a reporter for The Sun. He took us along to meet someone who swears she's been beamed up in...
That drawing's awesome. It looks like she's on a cheese highway. Like she's driving down a cheese... Mama's running down a cheese highway to get... What the hell? Now, this is an actual news report. Mama's running down the cheese highway to be a trick inside the Gravitron. Mama turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Mama's turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Down the cheese highway. Mama's running
50%.
Mama's running down the cheese highway, turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Skibbity toilet. That's a skibbity toilet on the inside of a Tesseract. Dude, we're full on insanity today. That's why I titled this what I titled it. You know what I'm saying? Can we find a song? Let's see if we can find a song to sing. We gotta find a dark arts R&B. Let's see, free R&B. All these fucking ads, dude. Come on now. Ugh. Mama's turning tricks again. Mama turning tricks. Twerking for them aliens. Running down the cheese highway. trying to sell her body inside of the Gravitron. Mama turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Hey, hey. Mama turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Running down a cheese highway. I can't get no cheese. All we got to eat is fried cheese and bologna sandwiches. Cause mama gone outside the house. Mama's up inside the Gravitron. With an alien named Bob, and an alien named Bill, and an alien also named Phil, to get them thrill. Mama's turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Running down the cheese highway. Mama's turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Running down the cheese highway. Mama's turning tricks inside the Gravitron. I'm inside playing video games like Tron. Sue Mills. Alien contact. Contact in the desert. Physical contact, bodily contact, aliens doing butt stuff. Mama got seduced by an alien. Bringing Franzia. Running down the cheese highway. Wine and cheese on the cheese highway. Mama's turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Mama turning tricks inside the Gravitron. Trash. This song is trash. Down the Velveeta Highway. Hookers for UFOs. UFOs. They should have titled it UFOs. That was so obvious. Aliens doing butt stuff. Implants inside the skin. We got freaking who's the damn Lord of the Rings dude? We got Peter Jackson over here interviewing her. Mama's turning chicks inside the Gravitron. Is that not funny? I don't understand. Like, when people coming over here hating, and I'm like, how could you not laugh at? That's like the most ridiculous local news clip I've ever seen. That's as stupid as. Yeah, Eddie Bravo was mystified when he didn't understand. Like, I guess people just don't get it. You know, I was thinking about the kind of humor that we do over here, because it overlaps with the weird millennial humor really well. Hence, you know, it overlaps with the Sam Hyde audience a lot. But I started thinking, even for the Sam Hyde audience, like, I feel like a lot of what we do over here joking around, it's like Charles Carroll stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that wacky. But it's even different than the Charles Carroll wacky. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys like that one. I mean, how could you not laugh? This is so preposterous. How could you not laugh at this? What else is going on over here? This channel is legit, dude. African Anteater Ritual. What the heck is this? This is awesome. Oh, that's from freaking Can't Buy Me Love. That's not even weird. This just came out. Demon Possessed Toaster. Uh-oh. What the heck? Mama's turning chicks inside a Gravitron. Alright, I'll try not to touch the table. Mama's turning tricks inside a Gravitron. That sounds like riff raff almost. Mama turning tricks inside a Gravitron. Low-key. Banger. Cringe level 1000 achieved.
See that, Richard? Satan lives. Just terrible.
Is the toaster still possessed?
We still have trouble off and on with it, yes. Oh, see now it's...
I just opened that.
It seems to be aware. Oh!
Why have you kept this toaster?
Well, Richard, you know, when all is said and done, it makes good toast.
What? Is this a skit?
Today, Boyd Matson, NBC News, Boca Raton, Florida.
See, this is a Florida woman right here. I mean, this woman, of course she's from Florida. By the way, Boca Raton is like that's rich Florida too. So, grandma's over here cooking it up for the devil, doing her dork orgs. And that's an actual local news story. Like, was the news? So I think the news in the 80s was even crazier than the news in the 90s and the 2000s. Leprechaun, whistle tips, that ain't nothing compared to the demon-possessed toaster that she keeps. Yeah, this, by the way, is legit right here. Ascension. Like I said, bowling is literally like sponsored by Doral. Doral is for bowling. Look at this dude.
That's the bowling piece once again.
You're out of your element. I said, wait, excuse me, darts. I meant darts, not bowling. You're out of your element, Donnie. Like, you gotta have a Doral hanging off your lips to be a dart man. Is the local news crazier now? I haven't seen local news in a long time. By the way, anybody want to support the stream? We got a lot of stingy people today. Support the stream by super chats right there. Shout out to everybody in the audience. What's up, Amber Ray? What's up, Magister, Medister, Winter, Alan Yee? Shout out to Rachel Wells. Shout out to Dangerfield. Shout out to Alan. We already named him. Other Alan Yee. His copy. His doppelganger. Chief Wahoo. John Paul. Sean Paul in the audience. I'm starting making fun of people in the audience. Destiny. What's up, Destiny's Child in the audience? Shout out to TJ. T-Jump. Shout out to Cam the Kang. Shout out to Ron. Playing Dorts. I actually kind of like this Corey Feldman song. I'm not joking. Like, every now and then, I legit will play this weird Corey Feldman song where he starts singing on some TV show. I actually kind of like this one. I'm not joking. I actually kind of like it. It's so weird and 80s and out of nowhere. And why is Corey Feldman singing this at a comedy club? I mean, it is kind of comedic, but it's also not really comedy. It's just weird. This makes me want to go sing cringecore at it. If Corey Feldman can sing his multiple comedic-ish cringecore songs. By the way, you want to know where cringecore comes from? You could argue I might just be getting it from Corey Feldman. Because Corey Feldman's music is kind of off the hook cringe, but fun. I mean, don't lie. If you listen to Ascension Millennium, you got to admit it's kind of catchy, even though it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Right? And if Corey Feldman is going to be Michael Jackson, I'm going to be Prince. Right? So what Corey Feldman is to Jacko, I am to the artist formerly known as Prince.
Well, it's something in your eyes. I'm going to do it right now.
Grandma was... I mean, not grandma. This aunt is lit. This aunt is having a time. She is turned up. Hold your horses. I'm gonna refrain from a bunch of rated R jokes right now. Whoa, what? Why did it flash to the girl being tied up on a pool table? What the heck? Bizarre, dude. Anyway, that song is lit, dude. That's a legit song right there. I like it. That saxophone is off the hook. Welcome, everybody. We're having fun on this balmy Thursday afternoon. Thank you for those super chats, and thank you for those new subscribers. We got multiple subscribers. A shout out to, let's see, who was that? No, I missed it. Thank you for the bro that signed up for the yearly subscription. Appreciate that. A little reminder, a little side note. I will be Probably tomorrow I've got most of what I want to talk about done here. We'll be talking about part 2 of Western Mysticism and Esotericism, the Cambridge Handbook. I will do the second lecture on the second half of the book, either tonight or tomorrow night. I'm going to remind you guys, too, that all week long, what have I done? Other than look suave as hell, I have spent the entire week from the time that I wake up until the time that I go to sleep at like 1 in the morning, literally working on Esoteric Hollywood 3. It's a lot of work. What's bouncing on the mic is my ghetto style of how I play the music in the when I sing over it. So I got it fixed now. I didn't know that thing was hitting it. Esoteric Hollywood 3, y'all. It's about to roll out. I mean, it's not going to roll out, but I'm about to be done with it. I would say in 1 to 2 months. If I keep working at the rate that I'm working, which is literally all day long, and it's a lot of work, we'll be done in a month or 2. And y'all want to come to a Nashville event with Jim Bob and me and maybe Courtney or somebody? In like, let's say like 6 weeks or so. Y'all want to do a Nashville event in 6 weeks? Who can make it? Who wants to come to a Nashville event in 6 weeks? Where we'll have this is the recent show. Last year's show is different from this year's show. So if you saw the Nashville show last year, which was our biggest show, most people, that was for the Meta-Narratives book. And I talked about philosophy and stuff. This year's show is different. I talk about geopolitics, spiritual dark forces, etc., and espionage and sexpionage. And so it's a totally different talk. Everybody had a blast at the Vegas event with Isaac Weishaupt and Jim Bob and me and Jamie. Nashville will probably be me, Jamie, not Isaac, Jim Bob, and maybe Courtney. So it's a totally different lecture from everybody, totally different material, and I also do the live cringe core. So let's do that. What do you guys talk? Of course I didn't convert to Catholicism. What are you talking about? That was a joke. People need to stop like taking things on the internet literal. Somebody says I might. I'm John Deaker. When the moon is more. Already said we got some Nashville peeps. And by the way, this Nashville event won't be a hot ass event like last time. Remember that hot ass building in Nashville? Oh, I didn't realize when I rented that venue, which I was like, this is such a good price venue. I failed to realize that it's a good price venue, which aesthetically, visually, it was a cool place, but it was in the ghetto, but not super ghetto. And it didn't have air conditioning. It was hot as hell up in there, but everybody still had fun though. Yeah, dude is asking me who in their right mind I would never convert to Roman Catholicism. Are you kidding me? Never go back to that. People post things on the internet that are not always true. Do you guys know that? I converted you to Catholicism. Yeah, right. Okay. People are just saying that because somebody said to Abara the other day, thanks for helping me convert to Orthodoxy. And Abara said, there's no way that's true. By the way, I wasn't joking either when I was saying I want to box somebody. And I said, I'd like to box Abara. Somebody said box Trent Horn. I said, okay. But nobody will box. I would have thought people would be jumping at the opportunity to do a creator clash boxing thing. And Sam Hyde said he would train me. When I was up there with Sam Hyde the next day after we filmed PGL, he was like, do you want to work out? And I thought he meant work out at the gym. And I was like, yeah, we can go to the gym, but I said my right shoulder is injured, so I can't really do whatchamacallit. And he said, no, we're going to work out, don't worry. I didn't realize he meant a boxing workout. So, which was great because it was like, I'm completely covered in sweat. Dude, no way. Sam is way out of my weight class. He's like 6 inches taller than me, and like, he's a beast, dude. He's like, I had no idea he was that massive of a dude. Sam Hyde is like the Mountain or Hodor. Like, he could be like the, shit, I don't know about football. Linebacker? Is that the big fat dude in football? Whatever his name is. The big ass dude in football. Sam's not fat, but I'm saying he's like, he's just a mountain, dude. I mean, if you look at Nick is a tall dude. Nick's 2 or 3 inches taller than me. And then Sam is like 3 inches taller than Nick and bigger. He's just a beast. I just had no idea he was that huge of a dude. Anyway, so no, he brought in he has an Olympic trainer that trained him for his fight with whoever that dude was he boxed. I forget that guy's name. When he boxed at the KSI event. But we couldn't really figure out who else I could box. Like, Wagner says he's never boxed, but he's a wrestler. So he would beat me in wrestling. I'm not trained in anything. So ideally it would be good to find Lofton. I would box Lofton. I said I'd box Lofton. He's probably not in my weight class either. I don't know. To me it sounds fun, but I guess a lot of people don't want to do it. But do they feel like it would be, like, if you lost at a boxing match, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Or is it? Maybe it is a huge deal. I mean, Worski still streams and has an audience, and he lost his Creator Clash boxing match. To me, it sounds like a lot of fun. Which Sam? Sam Hyde, not Sam Shamoon. Sam Shamoon's a buff dude too. I'm sure he would beat me up in a boxing match. No, I could not box Sam Hyde. He would demolish me. I don't think I would beat Tim either. Tim is actually a tall, buff dude in person, because I'll get to hang out with Tim. So, and Tim is probably out of my weight class. No, but Bryson is like a trained. Bryson loves to tell you that he's trained in MMA.
By the way, dude, did I mention I got MMA practice? What that is? I got MMA. By the way, I can't debate because I got MMA practice. By the way, did I mention I got MMA practice? I do MMA, by the way.
That's how Bryson is. I call him Branson.
Branson Gray. What that is?
Who could I box? Believe it or not, Poole is actually a tall dude too. I don't know if he's boxed though. I would box Tim Poole. I don't dislike. Tim's always been really cool to me, and always invited me on. And like in person, people always think Tim Poole's a dick. To me, he's always been super cool, really nice in person. So who could we box? That's what I'm trying to figure out, who I could box. Thank you. You sound just like Bryson Gray. Well, I do impressions. This is what I'm trying to convey to y'all. Listen, at my live events, you get the benefit of me literally running through like 30 impressions in one live event. And I need to start stacking it up. By the way, I need to add Bryson to the impression list. He's not even on there. I got my list of like 40 people, and I just now realized Bryson isn't even on the damn list. But you better believe, even Sam Hyde had to admit that I got the best Cat Williams on the planet. Alright, so I got to add Bryson Gray to the impression list. I forget all the people that we do impressions of. Hell, I might just transition into being a full-time stand-up comedian, performer, singer, lounge singer, or artist formerly known as Jay. I might just do it. I might blow all of y'all's damn minds. I'm just joking. We're always going to be here doing the lectures, the podcast. I will never stop doing what we're doing. I am sick of debating, though. Like, literally just sick of it. Like, I cannot take another goober saying the same dumb things. And everybody, and I'm not mad at anybody that asks questions, FAQs. Bro, there's like 7 years of everybody asking every conceivable question. So maybe I'll just, on the Clips channel, I'll find every conceivable question. In the next 5 years, I'll have an FAQ for every conceivable question on the Clips channel. And then you could go search the Clips channel, and hopefully it'll be easily searchable because freaking Algo buries all of the titles and you can't find anything. So anyway. Howdy, stranger! Oh yeah, does he count as a... See, that's so obscure. Some of the best impressions are obscure people, and then nobody knows when you do it. I would buy Taylor Marshall. I box Taylor Marshall. He's like 4 feet tall. I'm 6'1", 6'2", depending upon whether I got my heels on or whether I got my Doc Martens on or whether I got my high heels on. You know what I'm saying? So everybody says Taylor Marshall's like 4 feet tall. Sometimes you got to watch out for those little stout dudes because they're like tanks. The one time I got beat up in high school, it was a short, super stout dude. He beat the shit out of me. So, let's see. Bryson Gray. No, I'm not going to debate him. Impression. Resident Evil Merchant. He's one of my favorite impressions. I love that dude. Box Eli Jew. I don't know who that is. Taylor Marshall is kind of a... Like, he blocked me. He won't interact with, like, if he doesn't like you, he won't even, he's a little full of himself, unjustifiably, by the way. I would box Taylor Marshall. Box T-Jump, isn't he confined to a, I heard he doesn't have a wheelchair. He's got like a rolling couch or some kind, like he's got like a recliner that he rolls around in. I'm not joking, that's what I heard. So I don't think it would be fair to box a dude in a rolling recliner wheelchair. I mean, that'd be like box. Remember that scene in Eagle versus Shark, which is it's a really funny scene when he. Eagle versus Shark is pretty funny if you've not seen it. I think Brit and Jermaine are really funny, but the scene where he. I don't want to ruin it for you, but if you've never seen it, this is funny.
This is how.
Because the idea is, imagine you're gonna fight the high school bully that tormented you, like 10 years later, and then you find the bully and he's in a wheelchair, and you still fight him. That's awesome. Anyway. So, I highly recommend Eagle versus Shark if you've not seen it. And if you like this sort of quirky comedy, which I do, Tristan, I'm not gonna box Jonathan Pajot. What are you talking about? Some really weird requests. I was surprised. This was a lot funnier. Not that I didn't think it would be funny, but I did not see Beverly Loughlin until the other day. And Jamie and I thought it was really funny. So this was actually good. And I forget, this guy's done some weird... His other weird indie comedy, I couldn't watch. It was too gross. About the greasy dude, greasy killer or something like that. Anyway, but the 2018 Evening with Beverly Loughlin, I thought this was great. So if you guys are looking for another comedy that you haven't seen in this genre, if you like Napoleon Dynamite, if you like Eagle versus Shark, if you like weird comedy like that, Evening with Beverly Loughlin was really funny. And Jermaine is also in that with Aubrey Plaza and Craig Robinson. Box Nicolas Cage. He would probably win. He seems like a tall, kind of crazy dude. Elijah Schaefer. Elijah would probably win. He's probably more fit than I am. I mean, we go to the gym regularly, but Jake, I don't know if I want to box a Muslim. Muslims seem kind of crazy. I told Weck, I was like, Weck, if I go to debate Muhammad Hijab, or if I was to ever box a Muslim, I have to pay Weck to be security, literally. I mean, I paid Weck to be security at the Orlando event. And I told Weck he's got to be security if I ever go down to debate Mom at his shop at Fresh and Fit or whatever. And Weck said he would be security. So, yeah, exactly. Anyway, how do we get on this topic? What are we talking about? Alien hookers. That one's pretty good. That's enough of that. I remember being at the paint store I worked at when this came out. Remember E-Bomb's World? Bach's brother Nathaniel. That poor old man is crazy. I got all these people because he's tweeted about me for like 2 days, and I've ignored all these tweets, and people are like, "You need to talk to." I don't need to talk to that dude. I've never talked to that dude. I don't know. I don't follow that dude or keep up with his stuff, and like people are always wanting this kind of clashes and drama on the internet. Okay, I would rather have a boxing match with somebody. But we got to find the right match. Like, I want to box Ibarra or... Because if you saw that picture of Ibarra, he's about 400, 500 pounds now. I'm not joking. You guys saw that, right? So, and people are like, he's out of your weight class. Dude, he's out of everybody's weight class. What are you talking about? We're never going to help Eric unless we get him in the ring with somebody. Well, he's out of your weight class. He is literally out of every planet's weight class. What are you talking about? Fights Stanley Tucci. Fights... Yeah, E-Bomb's World. This is one of the clips I remember singing and playing at work all the time when I was working at the paint store. This is bringing back memories of like 2005, dude.
My name is John Dacre.
Remember this?
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. What? Amore. Bells will ring, as a bell ding, amore.
I like how John Dacre legitimately has the Baptist Methodist deacon vibrato. If you were ever in the Baptist, if you were raised in the Baptist church, like myself, one of the things you will always remember is the old men that do the old men vibrato. Just as I am without one plea. Remember those Baptist hymns? See, nobody knows this unless you grew up with it. I'm flashing back to E-Bomb's World. I'm flashing back to being a kid at the Baptist church. And I remember there's an old man with a handlebar mustache who would give me a butterscotch every Sunday. And then I started looking forward just to getting that butterscotch from that old man with a handlebar mustache. And no, he wasn't a creeper. He was legitimately a nice man. In the 80s, dude, in the South, everybody was nice and people were like wholesome. Like the wildest thing in the early 80s when I was a kid was like, somebody got drunk one time and had a fight at a bar. That was like the craziest thing that ever happened. We need to go back to those days. Everyone has lost their damn minds. And the South in the 80s was just straight up wholesome. There was no meth. Nobody knew what meth was. The most druggiest thing that ever occurred was Southern, like long-haired Southern boys like Charlie Daniels that smoked the reefer. By the way, I can sing that song perfectly too. I got invited to a karaoke party last year and they were like, "What do you want to sing?" "Jay, we want you to sing." I was like, "Well, all right, what do we got?" And they were like, "You long-haired country boy." I was like, "I can sing it perfect." I'm not even I'm not even into country, but I can sing that song perfect. I'm not joking. People say I'm no good, crazy as a loon. I get stoned in the morning, I get drunk in the afternoon. Kind of like my old blue tick hound, I like to lay around in the shade. I ain't got much money, but I damn sure got it made. 'Cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get it on my own. Is that on karaoke? We could do that one. I'll blow y'all's mind with that right there. You don't like the way I'm living. Just leave this long-haired country boy alone. Did we already try? Looks like we already tried this at one point. Try it again. Shout out to Super Chat. We got Super Chat from Owen again, $10. Ben Shapiro versus Jay Dyer. Can you debate the Talmud? I've already said I would debate Ben Shapiro. We all know Ben Shapiro's not going to debate me. By the way, when I asked him to debate, that got like 8 or 9, maybe 1,000 likes. So this was no small tweet. Same with Hijab. When I asked Hijab to debate, that got hundreds of likes and shares, maybe 1,000 or more. And the same with the Ben Shapiro. No, that ain't, dude. Too much to lose, and that's not gonna happen. But I would do it, of course. Would I debate Ben Shapiro on the Talmud? Yeah, I would. That would be a good debate. I'm down for that. I mean, I'm done with debating, but I would do that debate. And I'll probably have to do the hijab debate, even though I'm sick of debating. But now I want to box Lofton or Yabara. Can my soul? You said Jesus walked on the water, and I know that is true. Sometimes I think that preacher man would like to do a little walking too, but I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. You don't like the way I'm living, you just leave this long-haired country boy alone. I'm not the long-haired country boy anymore, though, but still. Anyway, how about a little bit of fun? Nobody wants to have fun today? Everybody wants to argue on Twitter about shit that you can't change. But yes, I would do that debate. Who should I box, though? We can't find anybody to box. It's got to be a creator. And I think if it's a creator that you've had a little beef with, that probably makes it better. But I would say 8 out of 10 people don't want to do it. Ben Shapiro is not going to box. What are you talking about? I cut my hair too soon. Yeah, too soon for that song. Exactly. Preacher man talking on the TV, putting down the rock and roll. Wants me to send a donation because he's worried about my soul. Oh, remember George Michael? Yikes. What the hell? Here we get some Elizabeth Shue energy up in here. What's up? Tom Coombs. Y'all like that Tom Coombs song? Golf and stuff. Is this Adventures? No, this isn't Adventures in Babysitting. What is this? Oh, Karate Kid. I forgot Elizabeth Shue's his girlfriend in Karate Kid. Exactly. Anyway. Do y'all want to get to the crazy stuff now? There's enough. Have y'all had enough 80s? With your boy Billy Corson? The Alan Corson Project? Yeah, Trent Horn. I'll debate Trent Horn. I don't even know who Matan is. People talking about Sam Hyde and Matan. I've never even heard. I don't know who this dude is. Who is Matan? Who Matan is? Who Matan is? Damn, the mall is echoey, dude. Here we got another Doral uncle. Hey, y'all want to go to the mall? Look, I thought we already went to the mall. Y'all want to go back to the mall? There's Kirkland's in the background. 1991 mall. Our Doral uncle that took us to the damn Doral resort. He wants to go over to the mall. Why is the mall so echoey? Look at that Mickey Mouse watch 25% off. You don't get deals like that these days. Look at this this cameraman's checking out these moms, right? He's like, that's a mom right there. Look at that mom shopping with that cigarette in the mall. Just Virginia Slim, just Doraling in the mall. A cameraman's being a little bit of a creeper. Mom cuts. I hate that mom cut. Remember, that's a cut that remember Star Trek The Next Generation? Who's the woman that had that stupid ass haircut that got killed? Remember they killed her off? By the way, did you somebody said there's like a Star Trek Next Generation acid trip mashup? It's pretty funny. I meant to play that. Let me see if I can find that. Tasha Yar. Y'all remember Tasha Yar? When she got killed? I do. It's right here. I remember thinking Next Generation was pretty awesome in 1993, 92, 93. I don't know why. He's over here with a tar baby. Look, and he's about to melt Tasha Yar with that mom cut. He said, "Get that mom cut out of here. Get that lesbian mom cut out, Tasha Yar." Zap, and she's gone. The alien said, "Your haircut is a crime." And then here's Tasha Yar in Space Heaven, Next Generation of Space Heaven. Right, here's Jean-Luc Picard up there in Space Heaven with Wesley Crusher, crushing it, getting laid, getting alien booty out the wazoo, crushing it. Wesley Crusher with his mama, what's her name? Not Beverly Crusher. And then old Picard's over there, like Picard could have hooked up with Mama Crusher like 1,000,000 times and he didn't do it. Or did he one time? I can't remember. Now I'm starting to think Picard was he a little bisexual? Because you got Jonathan Frakes over here. He's freaking Jonathan Frakes over here freaking up all of them, except for maybe Beverly. But he was all over freaking Marina Sirtis. What's her name? Hell, Jonathan Frakes was even sleeping with Whoopi Goldberg. Remember when they brought her on? Jonathan Frakes was freaking humping Data, dude. That's how much of a freak Frakes was. And then here's Tasha Yar coming back from beyond the grave to talk. to talk from heaven. What's Space Heaven like for lesbian wine moms? She can let you know right there. Oh, y'all think Picard was keeping it on the DL? That's what I'm thinking too. Did Data got it on with Tasha too? Dang, dude. Everybody was just Star Trek TNG is just it's more like Star Trek TNA, dude. It's just a bunch of freaks in space. Even Worf was over there getting it. You know what I'm saying? Freaking Wesley Crusher was crushing it. I mean, Star Trek TNG was something else. By the way, it actually has a bunch of Gnostic, Platonic, Nietzschean plot. Did y'all know that? I'm not joking. TNG has a lot of weird plots. And probably the old show, too. I mean, I haven't watched the original Star Treks since maybe I was 15 or something. But, I mean, it's well known, you know, that the old Star Treks have a lot of weird stuff. And I think Roddenberry, for some reason, was influenced by, he was really Shakespearean. Do you know that? I mean, I'm not a huge Gene Roddenberry fan. He was kind of crazy, but he was really into Shakespeare. So a lot of the Star Trek episodes have Shakespearean influence. And then, of course, there's like a 1984 episode. You know, there's MK Ultra episodes, too. Y'all know that. Anyway, somebody sent me this funny LSD Star Trek Next Generation mashup. This is pretty funny. This one. I'm not really sure what the point of this is, except, like, so are you supposed to drop the SID and watch this? I mean, I would not. I would say never do this. You will not be sane. I can't imagine dropping SID and doing this.
Not forgetting Mr. Crusher.
This is pretty funny, though, because it's like throwing in like just totally random stuff in the middle of Star Trek The Next Generation episodes, like Picard with the shit-eating grin, and then Dr. Dre starts up. I like it, but it starts getting really wild, like crazy stuff happening, right? And I can't stand, I don't like the Pink Floyd stuff. I mean, Pink Floyd is not that interesting anymore. But they mashed it up too with old Star Treks. Y'all remember in the 90s when they said you can match up Wizard of Oz to Pink Floyd? Remember that stupid thing? Man, we did acid and we like matched up the Wizard of Oz to Dark Side of the Moon, bro. They meant that shit, dude. Like, they meant that shit, bro. Right? Everybody from the 90s knows, they remember that. So, like, you want to know what a bad acid trip is like? It's like this. By the way, I met Q. Y'all see my picture where I'm arguing with Q? Y'all seen that? Speaking of Star Trek Next Generation, I met Q. And by the way, I trolled him. I photobombed Q. Not joking. Have y'all seen that? I got some legendary stories, bro. What does Hunter S. Thompson have to do with Star Trek? This is just crazy. Oh, Picard's he's macking. Maybe Picard is not as sterile as I thought he was. So Picard was like, no, I don't want no single mom, right? He was like, Beverly Crusher's a damn single mom. I'm gonna go for this blonde. That's what. Okay, I get it now. I get it now, Captain. Engage. He was waiting for these blonde alien chicks. That's what was going on. And by the way, I'm not joking. They go to a whole freak planet. Y'all remember that in Next Generation? You think I'm joking? They go to a damn freak planet. Look, there's Ryan Gosling in the back for getting a freak on. Even Ryan Gosling was there in the background at the freak planet. The freak planet, bro. TNG Freak Planet. Where? Look, there's Tasha Yar right there. Look at that damn mom cut. Get that mom cut out of here. That's why the alien. You deserve to be vaporized by the alien. Shout out to everybody in the chat, in the chart, like and chart, everybody in the chat. Them real vibes, baby. If you would hit like and share. Also, I got tired of Vivek Roboswamy, and I said, you know, we got to go back to some of the classics. We got to get that nice lady voice talking. That nice soothing lady voice for our show sponsor, guys. Be sure, and if you want to up your RIZZ, if you want to make your drip, you want to drip max, you want to looks max, you want to glow up like this, you want to become a performer like the artist formerly known as Jay, head on over to chalk.com, use the promo code J44Life. I'll tell you about that in a second. But first, I want you to watch this from this beautiful robot lady voice.
Chad Mode is your ultimate natural pre-workout, designed to take your performance to the next level. Chad Mode is for natty beast alphas only. Whether you're hitting the gym, invading a favela, conquering a small village, gambling, burning the midnight oil, mogging on your coworkers, or getting banned from Facebook, Chad Mode gives you the competitive edge you need. It's as simple as mixing 1 or 2 scoops of our fine powder into water or juice, providing you with a delicious, energizing beverage featuring a burst of sweet, organic fruit flavor. Chad Mode will give you the extra edge you desperately crave. Chad Mode stands out from the crowd by excluding artificial flavors, preservatives, sweeteners, and dyes. We've even avoided so-called natural flavors, ensuring a clean and effective formula. Only soy boys and betas guzzle blue dye and sucralose, further tanking their already low testosterone levels. Chad Mode is made in America. Unlike your common TikTok peasant's pre-workout powder, it does not contain Chinese lab-made caffeine and artificial sweeteners that soy boys so often crave. Experience the pure goodness of Chad Mode with Blue Magic registered trademark organic blue spirulina extract, organic lemon, cherry, and organic maple crystals. Forget synthetic caffeine. Embrace the natural power of organic green coffee bean extract. Each dose of Chad Mode mirrors the caffeine kick of a cup and a half of coffee, delivering a surge of energy alongside essential vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and herbal extracts. Chad Mode will allow you to fire your boss and mog on anyone who opposes you. Chad Mode will give you a dominant and aggressive edge, like a lion hunting a gazelle, where the gazelle is a TikTok gym zoomer macro guzzling sucralose on the daily, edging to TNF videos. Whether you're seeking a high-potency, junk-free pre-workout or a better way to kickstart your day, Chad Mode has you covered. It's not just for men. Chad Mode is a solution for anyone ready to conquer their fitness and life goals, dominate their coworkers, and aggressively gamble their life savings. Don't miss out. Secure your supply of Chad Mode on TikTok Shop with a limited-time massive discount. Elevate your workouts and supercharge your days. Chad Mode. Not for your average gym bro zoomer who guzzles synthetic blue dyes on the daily. Buy on the TikTok Shop now with a massive discount provided by TikTok for a very limited time. Buy now while this is still available. Chad Mode has been flying off the shelves because it's the first of its kind. Certified for alpha or sigma males only. Do not buy if you are a beta. We will refund your money. Chad Mode is your ultimate natural pre-workout, designed to take your performance to the next level. Chad Mode is for natty beast alphas only. Whether you're hitting the gym, invading a favela, conquering a small village.
I want to show off something that we're all proud of. I got a browser here. This is Jay Dyer's much vaunted, much sought after Philosophy 101. Now, he just got this page up. We are just testing it out. You guys are some of the first people in the world to see it. I want to say, for my part, it's not Philosophy 101. I think this is a mistitling. I really think of it as like Philosophy Unleashed. Because a Philosophy 101 course, they give you kind of some useless information that you can't make sense of. Jay actually lays out over 12 weeks, dozens and dozens of hours put into just the presentation of this, let alone the hundreds and thousands of hours of research that it takes to have a coherent evolution and history of the origins of philosophy, the uses of philosophy, the different ways to look at it over time, and how that has been brought about to what we have today, which is almost an absence of philosophy on the objective logic and reason side, and an overabundance of woke philosophy that is irrational, is made up day by day as people are like, I think we should bring racism back. And then here's a justification. And then it gets wokeified and spread out. And then all of a sudden you have a bunch of communist, socialist ideas where you become the property in action. You need to be able to stand your own ground. It helps to have a foundation in philosophy because it's a method to find truth. When you get down to it, philosophy is there because you love truth enough to go and learn how to find it because it's valuable. So if you're interested in things like that, there is the landing page. We'll link it up in the notes. It is a longer one, so we'll get a shorter URL for this. I'm sure Jay has a link on his page. I just wanted to show it off. Now you know it exists. You can go look for it and see why this is not your father's philosophy, right? So well done. I'm proud of everyone who helped to produce and edit the course. And of course, Jay did a flawless job in presenting the course over those 12 weeks. And he's a juggernaut. He's another guy, just like John Bush, in action all the time, doing something productive, like very little wasted time in his week. Those 168 hours of being harnessed very well. I want to show off something that we're all proud of. I got a browser here. This is Jay Dyer's much vaunted, much sought after Philosophy 101. Now, he just got this page up. We are just testing it out. You guys are some of the first people in the world to see it. I want to say, for my part, it's not Philosophy 101. I think this is a mistitling. I really think of it as like Philosophy Unleashed, because a Philosophy 101.
All right, welcome back. A reminder that when you head on over to chalk.com, we have some pretty hefty, amazing stuff over here. I mean, you really do have to go get a hold of this stuff. We gave out quite a bit of chalk at our live event too. So by the way, if you come to the live events, you get like $30-$40 worth of chalk free, by the way. So I usually give out quite a few. And if you are looking for male performance, male RIZZ upping, then you definitely want to take advantage of the promo code J44Life over here for the performance stack. It's not just for dudes. You can also get the performance stack if you're a active lady who wants to up those gains at the gym. If you do a lot of working out, then the performance stack is for you as well, even if you're a lady. And there is also the female vitality stack over here. If you're not a guy, if you're looking for vitality, I recommend male vitality. If you're looking for the performance stack as a man, I recommend here. My favorite, as you guys know, is the testosterone boosting Tomcat Alai, the Tomcat 100. Now, Chalk wanted me to mention that there's more than just boosting testosterone when it comes to the Tomcat Alai. We're also talking about hormone metabolism. We're talking about also enhancing testosterone for men and women. Did you know women also need it? It's not just a dude thing. It's also known to help reduce stress, cortisol, and so healthy cortisol levels also has a lot to do with how women, how their body processes stuff. So when women get overweight, it has to do a lot of times with stress and cortisol levels, as well as other things, diet too. But the Tomcat Alai helps produce healthy immune functioning, basically, right? It helps blood flow, it helps physical and mental energy, and so that's my favorite. And I think if you get the performance stack, you're going to find that combining these things, go easy, by the way, on the Chad mode. That stuff is really strong. I took one scoop one day, the first day, and I didn't think much about it, and I could not go to sleep. Like, I took it in the day, and I was like amped up into the night and couldn't sleep. So I do recommend holding off and watching out on how much of the male vitality, or the Chad mode that you get, excuse me, not male, the Chad mode. That powder is legit, dude. So it's powder, it's stout stuff. But also, if you want to get access to the part 2 of the Western mysticism and esotericism, I recommend subscribing to my website, jasonelsis.com. I've kept it cheap. It's $4.95 a month still. $60 a year. You can choose either option. It is recurring, so keep that in mind. It's your duty to unsub. But we've kept it cheap because, you know, it's vital information and it's basically grad school level info for pennies on the dollar. So be sure and subscribe to the website. The links are in the show description. Be sure and get a hold of, in anticipation of the forthcoming Esoteric Hollywood 3, you can get Esoteric Hollywood 1 and 2 here, signed copies. Josh Garrett says for $5, hey, I took a long break of your channel because of negative and repetitive debates. I'm glad that you're tired of it and going back to making fun of the 90s again. Well, we kind of kept that vibe going. I mean, like, it's not like I stopped doing that, but I did do, I'd say, a few months of like heavy debating, and I agree it was getting kind of repetitive and getting old. It's much more fun to have fun. The debates can be fun, but be sure and go watch the Western Mysticism and Esotericism talk if you guys missed it. There's a lot of really key info in this academic Cambridge Companion book, and a lot of things got tied together, I think, and you'll notice that in part 2 as well. For subscribers, you can also subscribe over on Rockfin for part 2s of many of the talks, and there's also unique content on Rockfin versus unique content on the website. I've still not moved everything from the website over to Rockfin because it was just so much material over the last 10 years, roughly. So we're talking, you know, thousands, almost 1,500 videos or so, talks and lectures. But part 2 will be over here when it's complete. I don't have the full PGL episode. I have about 50 minutes of it total because there's 46 minutes here and then there's another clip over here of PGL. So for the subscribers over here at Rockfin and for the website too, you can watch a good portion of the PGL episode. The whole episode, of course, is available over at Sam Hyde's channel. But thank you, Josh, for coming back. Glad you're back. Looking forward to... it's not that we're not going in a different direction per se. We're just sort of like cycling through different emphases, right? And we've had so much debate in the last... And I said after one of the last, I think after the Jake debate, I was like, you know, I'm kind of tired of debating, so let's take a break. And then I ended up doing a lot of the call-in debates, which that's starting to get old. I mean, anyway, I don't know who Matan is, so. The meltdowns can be funny. It is funny and entertaining to have people calling in and having the meltdowns, but at the end of the day, I mean, it just kind of gets old. Like, I think for me and for the audience, it's probably more beneficial when we actually spend time getting into things like, you know, these big fat books and producing content that's educating people. That I also don't make any money from the debates other than super chats, right? So it can be fun and it's okay, but it doesn't make money. Doing talks on books that are half and half, that helps make a living, and people pay for that. They're willing. They love to pay for that kind of information. So, and how many times we have to have the same debate? Trust me, if you had the same debate with somebody, I didn't start having these kinds of debates. Like with atheists, I've been debating atheists since 2000. So 2000 is when I first started reading apologetic material. I've never heard atheists come with any unique arguments. So almost 25 years of debating atheists. And if you do something for 25 years, you kind of get tired of it. You know what I mean? What else? The Protestant, Catholic, Orthodox debate. I mean, I've had that and I started reading that type of stuff in 2003. At that time, it was Catholic, Protestant. So that's still 21 years. 21 years of the Roman Catholic debate stuff. I mean, come on. Guys, I'm tired of it. Like, it's so played out. Like, and the debate's never different. The only way that debate can be different is when scholarship, like Richard Price's books or the recent Szyszynski book, right? When they translate stuff that hasn't been translated, and then people debate the new scholarship. I mean, in that sense, you can have a new update for the debate. But like the pop apologist stuff of Trent, and I mean, it's just it's the same crap I've heard since 2002 and 3. It's like there's no. This debate is freaking played out. I mean, we need to be over here debating Billy Corson. You know what I'm saying? We need to get up in that forbidden knowledge and set this brother straight, because this brother is saying some crazy stuff. Oh, by the way, why does Joe Rogan have this dude on? Of all the people to have on, is it just because this dude's got millions of subscribers? And by the way, think about how many millions of idiots there are. Millions of idiots. Maybe Joe Rogan thinks that this guy is like a secret covert proof of like atheism or something. Like, is this where like this dude makes atheism look good? Is that, maybe that's what Joe Rogan's saying? I don't know, but no, I haven't had time to watch Kyle's debate. As I told you guys, I spent all week since we've been, actually the whole time since we've been back from Vegas, when I wake up until I go to sleep, I'm working on Esoteric Hollywood 3. So this stream was a break from writing, because I haven't been in the mode of writing for a long time, right? Like I wrote, what was the last thing I wrote? I mean, Meta Narratives was older essays. The Red Book is all old essays. So I haven't really been in a mode of writing. I've written stuff on blogs, that kind of stuff, like here and there. But when you got to like get back into the mode of writing, and it takes a lot of time and energy to write a book. And it's coming along. I mean, I wrote 3 chapters this week for Esoteric Hollywood 3, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a little different than the first 2, because I took a few years break from writing, and we focused heavily on videos, which has been great. I've loved doing live streaming. It's been a blast. I'll never stop doing that, but yeah, I had to really kind of buckle down and like train myself to get back in this mode of writing every day. So I'm kind of back in the cycle now, and I don't want to lose that momentum of being back into doing that, but I also don't want to stop doing live streams. But for me, it's easier to do a fun live stream and do a live stream lecture on a book than it is to do a bunch of writing and then do a bunch of debates. And it's like, I gotta pick certain, I'm just sick of debating. I'd rather sing songs anyway. And I would rather box somebody than have another damn debate. I'm serious. Like, I'm at the point where I want to box a person rather than having a stupid intellectual debate with. I'm just so tired of it. And people keep wanting me to debate. And I'm like, you understand, I've been debating since the year 2000. 25 years of debate. 25. To me, it even seems crazy. And no, I haven't spent every year debating, but I'm saying, like, I mean, there was, in every one of those years, there was some kind of debate. Like, even say 2007, like, I would be on Facebook debating people about, philosophy and theology. So even in those years, I was debating, not audibly. By the way, I just remembered there was a debate prior to JF. There was a philosopher. I just remember this. It's probably not. I don't know if it's on you. It might be on the channel still. I can't remember. I debated a dude on evolution before JF. I just remember that, and before Kokesh, because those were the first 2 modern debates. You'll pay big bucks for what? What do you mean, Slubboy? You'll pay for what? That's what I'm saying. I'm so tired of the piety signaling. I don't want anything to do with, like, Twitter Orthodox piety people are the most annoying. Like, I just can't even stand it. Am I undefeated at what? Debating? Well, I mean, I'd lost comment debates back in 2008 or 9, which is why I quit being Roman Catholic, right? Because I argued Thomism when I was a Thomist. And I lost those discussion debates, you could say. But I didn't know what I was talking. I didn't know anything about Orthodoxy. I had no idea what I was talking about. I don't. Well, I've already asked Voice of Reason to debate. All the people you guys asked me to debate, I've already asked them to debate. So I've already asked that dude to debate. He just ignores the questions. Box Voice of Reason. That sounds fun. He might could beat me. I don't know. Story time stream. I don't know. Well, Jamie and I next are going to be doing Esoteric Gyllenhaal. So that's our next stream. So we're going to be, because we haven't analyzed a bunch of these Gyllenhaal movies. So, but thank you for that super chat there. Anthem says $3. I love your work. What's an introductory book on logic, reasoning, and fallacies? I would start with something like Jason Lyle's book, Ultimate Proof, because it also functions as a basic level introduction to logic and reasoning. Also, I think FDA has lectures that you can check out, so you can check out Father Deacon Ananias' lectures on epistemology and logic. Oh, and then one thing we're going to do for fun is our next riffing experiment. You guys had a lot of fun with me. I hope. I felt like I've gotten better as we've done riffing experiments, sort of Mystery Science Theater level stuff. Oh, I got another thing I want to tell you about too. My next book after Esoteric Hollywood 3. I've already decided what the next book after Esoteric Hollywood 3 will be. So we did Eternal Evil was the first experiment in riffing. It was a challenge. No, Plan 9 from Outer Space, but then YouTube. It's not YouTube. Somebody claims a copyright for that stupid non-copyright movie. Everybody knows Plan 9 from Outer Space is not copyrighted, but then people can claim that a copyrighted thing is. So anyway, so then we did. So I did that, and I did it full on improv, and it was not bad for improving for one whole movie. It was a challenge. There were some lulls. And then I tested Eternal Evil. Eternal Evil was a challenge. It was so bad I couldn't finish the movie, but it was still ended up being kind of funny, I think. And then we did Rotor, and Rotor was good. I felt like I experimented with planning a little more and writing a little more than all being improv, but I think the second half of Rotor was improv, and I did decent with that. And then we did Cyber Tracker, and that was fun. Cyber Tracker turned out pretty good for full-on, straight-up, total improv, I thought. What do you guys think? But I found our next riffing experiment. It will be Max Knight Ultra Spy 2000. This looks awesome, like awesomely bad. And I was getting frustrated because the last several riffing attempts that I looked at were all copyrighted, even though they probably shouldn't be. But Max Knight seemed to work and is not copyrighted. This is going to be fun. So imagine a shitty TV version ripoff of Mission Impossible, James Bond, The Matrix, into a garbage 90s TV spy movie. This looks pretty solid. I say 90s. It might as well be 90s because it's the year 2000 is still totally 90s. Like there's nothing really, and it's like he's fighting 3 techno chicks, like literally like rave chicks. This sounds too good to be true. So this is going to be fun. So we'll riff that. I tried to riff Your, but Your comes up, even though it's also supposed to be not copyrighted, as copyright. So a lot of these out of copyright B movies end up somehow being claimed as copyright. It's really annoying, but that will be fun to riff. Did you guys like the riffs? Box Ruslan? I would box Ruslan. Ruslan looks like kind of a young, fit dude, so he would probably be a good challenge. He might take me, but I need to know that they're not trained in it already. Because if I box somebody who's already trained, then I'm just going to lose because I'm not a trained boxer. So we need to find somebody that we know isn't trained. And then how do we know when they're not lying? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Alula, $3. Do not forget about doing your Lord of the Rings stream. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we took a bunch of notes, and then we got distracted with the live events and never finished the notes to do the Lord of the Rings stream. Then I couldn't decide how to do it. For Your Height Only is a good one. It's a 3-foot tall Indian super spy. That sounds good. I'll have to check that out. For Your Height Only. So then the other thing I want to tell you guys was I had the idea that, remember Mike Nelson had a book that came out back in the day that was good. It was called Mike's Mega Movie Cheese. And I realized, well, if you wanted to, like, you can also do comedic stuff in written form. So, and I was like, yeah, Mike did that. And I remember reading this back in the day, and I thought it was funny. And it was just, I mean, I don't know if it still holds up because it might be dated. Mike's Movie Mega Cheese, but Mike wrote a book where he was basically just writing essays about bad movies, which is fun, and also like not just bad movies, but like theater movies, right? So I got to thinking, well, we've written 3 books on movies, so if I wanted to do something funny in this vein, I could do essays on bad movies, like the best of the bad movies, and then do like a fun 100-page funny book. So the idea is to not go crazy, not a 400-page book like all the other ones are, but 100 pages of essays on bad movies in a comedic vein. I'd like to do that. So that will probably be, I'll either do that, because that won't take long to do a 100-page book after Esoteric Hollywood 3. And then do, the next book would be something on the global elite and espionage. So that would be like the next book after that. I do need to do eventually the global elite books series into a book, but good grief, this stream has already gone for 3 hours. Feels like, I thought it was like 2 hours. What the heck? All right, anyway, a lot of fun. If you guys would, be sure and subscribe over at the website, support the show, and thank you all for the super chats. And get ready for our Nashville event. Get ready for Esoteric Hollywood 3. Get ready for a funny book I want to write on bad movies. Get ready for part 2 of this. What you guys want to see riff Rocky Horror? You can't riff anything that's even remotely copyright. And even these bad B movies are claimed by people. So the challenge to riffing is to find the things that are out of copyright. And Riff Tracks somehow is able to do it pretty good. So let's look at their channel. Ideally, you know what I'd like to do? I had this idea the other day. So, like when they riff Point Break, the way they're able to do it is that they do it live. And then they can comment live as they're showing Point Break as if it's a theatrical showing. That's how they get around that. And by the way, I've been to a bunch of Riff Tracks live. They're awesome. But they end up, I think they have a deal with the theaters, because the theaters will play the events live. By the way, when I say I've seen them live, I've never seen the guys themselves live. The events are live streamed at movie theaters, is what I'm saying. Which they're a lot of fun. I would have loved to have seen Point Break live, but we saw Starship Troopers in the theater, Riff Tracks. We saw Night of the Living Dead was fun. I can't remember which one I thought was the funniest live. I saw Manos. I think we saw Manos live, because they did Manos like as an anniversary show live. Anyway, but here's my idea. What if we did a live event, but I don't know if enough people would come to this. Like, what if we integrated into the live event, not just... What if we did a live event where we watch a bad movie and riff it? Does that sound fun? So that could be part of a live event. So live events would be impressions, cringecore, jokes, movie riffing, the way they do it live, and the lectures and the book signing. That would be fun. It's just more bang for your buck. Also, you guys could riff with me in a live setting. I remember I was friends with this comedian girl who was a stand-up that was friends with. I met her through one of my good buddies it was a roommate back in the day. And they would do this in Nashville. The comedians in Nashville would have other comedians come to live riffing events. I forgot they did that. I was like, that's actually a good idea. Somebody should bring that back to where we have a live event, and you could probably get away with at a live event riffing on anything. You might not. It might be over the line to play like a theater movie or like a. You couldn't get away with that. But you could probably watch. I don't know if that would work. Could you watch an old movie at a live event? I don't think you could. Like, you couldn't charge people to come to an event to watch a copyrighted movie that you riff on. They can get away with it because it's riffing on a thing that the theaters are showing. Anyway. But you could still do it with a B movie that's out of copyright. That you could do. Does that sound fun? That sounds awesome. The variety hour. Exactly. It's like, you get all of this. Variety hour. Variety 5 hours. Anyway. All right. Thank you guys so much. Be sure and get signed copies of Esoteric Hollywood in anticipation for part 3. Hoping to be done in 1 to 2 months with Esoteric Hollywood 3. And it will complete the trilogy. Won't that be exciting to have a complete...
I want to show off...
trilogy?
I want to show off something that...
I always forget that the ads are still running. Do you want a little taste of what's in Esoteric Hollywood 3? So we're doing... let me give you a little taste of it. Just a little, so nobody has any idea. This is all proprietary information. This is a taste of what's going on. I gotta pull it up. Where's it at? Okay. So basically, in section 1 of Esoteric Hollywood 3, you're going to get a vast analysis of comic book engineering, comic book movies, and Christopher Nolan films. And I did that because many Christopher Nolan films, well, several at least, the Batman, right? They were comic book movies. I am not a huge fan of comic book movies. I think we are all sick of them. However, because they took over the industry, you could say, I felt it was necessary to go ahead and discuss comic book movies in general. And so we have a pretty significant section. And then I went into the dark Gnostic goddess savior archetype and how many modern films are promoting this idea of the feminine goddess rising to supplant the man and it becoming the new archetype that they want to kind of project to move people towards that for the purposes of the NWO. Then we talk about Hollywood horror trauma. That will deal with films that, not just horror, but horror mind control trauma. Then we're going to do a section on significant B movies with a message that we've covered over the years, and I'd like to eventually write about those in a kind of academic, fun way. That will be... that section is what gave me the idea, by the way, for a whole other book on bad movies that will be comedic. So the 100-page book will be separate from that, but in the same vein as Section 4 of Esoteric Hollywood 3. Section 5 is organized intelligence crime syndicates. So this will deal with a lot of intel movies, spy movies that I've never covered before. Like I said, this last week I wrote 3 chapters, stuff I'd never written. The whole week this week was writing 3 new chapters. Section 6 will be Hollywood Antichrist Apocalypse. And it's fitting because Esoteric Hollywood 3 is coming at a time when we're essentially seeing the apocalypse of Hollywood, the end of Hollywood. So, this has been a significant part of my life, this franchise of Esoteric Hollywood, where we had in the first one came out 2016. So we're almost 10 years into Esoteric Hollywood, right? 2016. I was writing a lot of it 2015, so almost 10 years. Esoteric Hollywood 2 was 2018. So it took several years of a break to do a lot of podcasts and videos. And then 3 is, again, hopefully it's completes the trilogy in a quality, substantive way. I think it will. I'm feeling good about it so far. Like I said, it's about 60 to 70% written. Anyway, so hope you guys enjoy the completion of the trilogy. I don't think it'll be any it won't be necessary to do any more esoteric Hollywoods after the third one. I might write other film books if I get an inkling dealing with other topics. Like I could do a whole different book on something like, you know, Hollywood alchemy, something like that. But yeah, the kind of the point of the title, the third one will be something like Esoteric Hollywood, Sex, Cults, and Apocalypse in Film. Because Hollywood is coming to an end. So it was just very fortuitous, providential to be writing these books as Hollywood is kind of coming to an end. I mean, the Hollywood studio system, as everyone knew of it for the last century, is pretty much coming to an end. It's transitioning into, you know, streaming, Apple Studios, Netflix Studios, Hulu Studios. It's moving to the big tech model. So Hollywood, as we all know it, is pretty much dying. I mean, Jamie Kennedy, right? So we ended up sort of rounding this out by getting to know Jamie Kennedy, which has been very cool. And, you know, even him based, Hollywood's dead, bruh. It's dead. Right? That's where we are now. So, by the way, I can add Jamie Kennedy to my roster of impressions. I forgot to put Jamie in there, even though I did an impression before he came out in the LA event. But anyway, so look forward to that. We're back to Esoteric Hollywood days. Remember this? You guys have been here for a long time, many of you. We're back to EH Part 3, rounding out the trilogy, ending with the end of Hollywood. Isn't it all appropriate? Remember in 2015, 16, when I was doing Part 1, I mean, Hollywood wasn't over. It was still pretty gargantuan. You still had big studios, and I mean, the studios still